Oh my gosh. We're online. Hello. This is exciting. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's see. Let's. Who else is online? Hey, yo.
Hello.
Hello, Robe.
Oh my gosh, Josh. Do you know what day it is?
Among
What
Day.
day is it?
No, oh my god. Today is not Among Day. It's Valheim Wednesday.
No, I mean I found that mod for the Town of Us.
What are you talking about?
I found the roles mod for Among Us,
What are you talking about?
where instead of just being crewmate, imposter, or jester, we can have like mayor and arsonist.
Oh, yeah.
I found the mod.
Yeah, it's just on the Curse Forge, right?
Oh, I found it on GitHub or whatever.
Sure. Oh my gosh, no, the plan the whole time was today is Valheim Wednesday.
I
And
know.
then. Okay, are you fucking with me?
Kinda.
I don't want to play Among Us on Monday and Wednesday.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying I found the mod, so we'd have to wait until they update it though for the
Yeah,
new update.
because that mod is super, super not gonna work on Wednesday. Like, for
No.
sure.
No, we
Um,
actually have to make sure we fix our files before Wednesday too.
I am more interested in playing on the new map than I am playing with mods, if I'm being honest. As far as fixing your files go, I'm pretty sure you could just uninstall and reinstall the game.
Yes.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, you like super threw me for a loop there. So is the plan still to play Valheim today?
Yes.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, I was like, shit, am I the wrong one here? Did I
No.
just ping our Discord for nothing? Okay, cool. All right,
No,
cool.
I've just been looking at stuffed Pokemon.
I'm like ready to crack open a cold one, baby.
I need to
Grip
buy
it
this
and rip it.
Totodile. I need to buy this stuffed Totodile
Yeah, what
so
are you talking
badly.
about?
Pokemon plushes.
Oh,
Mike, I've downloaded the Valkyrie and the Priest class for Divinity. I might get more.
yo, drop that Totodile plush in the Gen chat.
It's only like an 8-inch plus plush.
No, that's okay. That's valid. Yo, Chandler has so many Pokemon plushes. It's insane. I love them. We have them all over the place. I actually got a little hammock that I could put up in our ceiling to display them. I haven't set it up yet. I don't think it's super difficult.
There
It
you
just
go.
uses
There's
some.
Totodile.
Yes.
He's my
Oh, look at this
favorite.
little guy.
I know, he's my favorite Pokemon.
That's a
He's my
good.
favorite. He's my favorite non-legendary Pokemon.
That's a very good fave.
I mean, after watching Johto and Totodile just dancing and tap dancing and singing happily whenever Ash would use him, he'd just come out and start dancing and be all happy. And then he'd beat you up, and then he'd start dancing and be all happy. Like, how can you not love him?
Honestly, I'm not familiar with Totodile's characterization in like the anime, but just look at him. He's shaped like a friend, like for real.
I mean, there you go. There he is.
So I mean, my thing is,
That's his personality. That's his entire personality in the anime. It's just a happy dancing little
little
gator.
dude.
That's it. If he
But
ever evolved into Feraligatr, you know how terrified that would be
oh my
just to
god,
see him hopping and
A
dancing
giant
at like
dancing alligator.
I mean,
yeah,
Totodile wakes up and chooses violence.
he's Feraligatr and Snorlax are the same height.
For
Like-
perspective, how big is a Snorlax?
Like 3 people tall.
Got it.
Not 3 people tall. I mean, gosh,
15 feet tall.
Oh fuck! Wait, we can look this up for sure. For sure, we can look this up.
yes. He's not the same weight as Snorlax, but let's see. 7'7" is how big Feraligatr is. If I'm reading that correctly. 2.3 meters. And Snorlax. Snorlax is 6'11".
So you said
2.1 meters. So
it's 2.
Feraligatr is taller.
Yeah. So they're like a really tall dude.
I mean, I haven't run into too many like 7-foot tall people.
Right. I guess that's
really,
true.
A really tall dude would be like maybe 6'3", 6'5". Like 6'3" would be a really tall dude. Like the average guy height is around 6 inches. That's typically around the average height for a dude, is between like 5'11" and 6 inches, I think.
Between 5'11" and 6 inches. That's
Foot,
a pretty...
feet, sorry. That was, yeah. That's 6 inches.
No, I think
Ooh.
the average male height is actually a decent amount shorter than that, especially if you normalize across the entire globe. I want to say it's more like 5'8".
Now
I'm
I
just
gotta
gonna
look at
Google
this.
average male height.
5'9"
5'9", yeah, according to Google.
So yeah,
Actually,
really
5'7".
tall guy
Whoa!
would probably.
Oh my gosh,
A
Catherine,
really-
since when were you here?
She just joined.
2 minutes ago.
This is fucking me up. Discord doesn't do the little, like, noises for me anymore when people join and leave. It's throwing
Why
off
not?
my whole... I don't know!
It did it for me when I arrived, so maybe it's just the
No, it's
some
definite.
kind of thing you've got going.
It is for sure on my end. I guess you now have the ability to sneak up on me. So, congratulations. Catherine, how
So
are
you
you?
you
We're
guys
talking
have missed a lot in Valheim.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fine.
I just like listening to you guys playing it. Noise.
What did we
when
miss, Michael?
Someone. Yeah.
We started a new settlement.
What do you mean you started a new
Not
settlement?
really a new settlement, but we started
New
a
world?
new base. Kind
You-
of.
You mentioned doing that last time.
Yes, we have to. We can only grow certain things in the plains, so therefore we have to build to grow things in the plains.
Okay, I see.
It's a walled-in farm. That's pretty much it.
For now, I mean, we could always do more, but something interesting happened to your house.
It's not my house. It's the Blazy Memorial Lodge Memorial
Something
Lodge.
interesting has happened to it.
Is that so?
Yes. It's still there, untouched, but something else has happened to it that's interesting. And we'll have to get 2 more dragon eggs for everyone else to fight the boss.
Oh yeah, what boss are we on?
Do you actually get a dragon from it?
No, it's to fight the dragon boss.
Boo.
We
You
gotta
should
make
get
sure
an
you
actual
guys
dragon
have
if you get a
the,
dragon
the
egg.
appropriate armor for it too. So, because you
Rob,
will
how
freeze
long
to
has? Yeah. How long has the sound issue been for you? Not long, right?
A few weeks at this point. Which I mean,
Because you did stream something live like the last week or so, but
I'm streaming
wouldn't have
right
been
now,
the issue.
baby. We're the We're live. We're live and on the scene, baby.
I know, we're waiting for Josh to start up his server, but he's in Divinity right now.
Oh, is that what's up?
Because you could be in streamer mode or something. And that's why
That is-
the ding doesn't happen for
That
you.
is possible, and I was thinking about that, but my brain just literally turned off. I feel like this problem has been going on since before I was streaming. So the last time I streamed was last Wednesday, but I think I've had this problem since before then. I could be wrong though. My brain is so busted and so rotted out at this point that like,
Mhm.
you know, my
Yeah, the
sense
best
of...
thing I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, just the best thing I could say is just go to notification sounds and see in the settings and see what's up.
You know what, Kat,
Play with
that's
that.
actually very smart. Why don't I look at my settings? Yeah,
Because there is a do not
notification.
disturb mode. But I don't know.
I want to get this Dragonair plush too. It's 26 inches.
You know, why don't I look up?
Nice. Rob,
What?
And this Mew.
I
need to
saw a
get Mew.
new story that I thought was fun.
Oh, please lay it on me.
You might have seen it. I think it's new. The
Is it a-
Navy's now using Xbox controllers for their submarines.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've heard that one. I don't
Yeah,
think that's
I like
even that new.
Probably
Um,
not, but it's new that I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's an
Oh, like 2
interesting.
years. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
new.
That sounds about right.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
fun.
an interesting one because, like, yeah, you think about it, the Navy and the military in general is mostly like kids, like 18 to like their early 20s, right?
Yeah,
you know.
because they are deciding it out of high school.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Allison, hello.
Hello.
Well, I mean, they're incorporating controllers into a lot of things. Like construction equipment are starting to use video game controllers because they eliminate a lot of the unnecessary, stuff that you have to use to actually,
Cheaper and people are used to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it's just
well, it's a few things, right? Young people in particular are very used to them and very capable with them. But also, from the manufacturing standpoint, there's already a fucking supply chain for game controllers, right?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
industrial equipment controllers, those are things that you probably have to get specially designed for, like, I don't know, a fucking crane operator or something.
Yeah.
But you just hit up
They're
Microsoft
like
and be like,
20,000 each.
yeah, you hit up Microsoft, a Xbox One controller is like $80, which is still a horrendous amount of money for a controller.
Mhm.
But when you're budgeting for an industrial project, that's like nothing.
Yep.
Dude, I drive a forklift with an Xbox controller.
you probably have an easier time driving with an Xbox controller.
I've driven a
I
forklift.
definitely would.
I've driven a forklift with
Showing,
an Xbox
showing
controller.
up to your forklift job, like, can I plug in my Pro controller instead, please?
Yeah. yeah,
Here,
but,
I got this one with the custom.
yeah, with the finger paddles and
Jacob
everything.
Hart skin. Can I use
Yeah.
it?
The
I brought my own anime girl controller. Can I use it?
Yeah. I
Use
must
one
use
of
my
those mouth-
waifu.
use one of those mouse pads with the cushions.
I know.
I mean, was it in Kill Shit? There's the whole
Uh-oh.
Suez Canal girl
Yeah,
thing going on.
Who here
Yeah.
besides me and Mike are confused by that?
What?
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't see the Suez?
We got
No,
some,
wait,
some pictures in the Discord of
Which
Suez
one?
Canal meme.
Which
material.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't confused
I
by
mean,
it. It just
Which
made sense.
meme?
The Suez Canal girls.
I saw those.
Instead of a boat, it's just,
The
hot
first
anime
one was
girls.
my favorite one.
Oh yeah, I've seen like several of those.
The first one, yes, I like the first one as well, Catherine. I also like the third one. Those are my two favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen like several of those.
Yeah, I mean, these memes are great. The Ever Given wouldn't have gotten stuck if it was controlled with an Xbox controller, for sure.
I don't know
Well,
about that one.
I don't know.
I
I
didn't
thought the
like the
problem was
third
that
one,
they were
though.
drifting with
I don't
it.
know.
No, the
Oh,
problem
there's
is...
a.
There's
Oh, you
two
posted a
drifting.
lot of these. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Well,
so many, Allison.
John
Well,
kept
I-
discovering them.
I mean, then there was the whole, restaurant tomboy Outback Steakhouse and the
Oh, that's
Spy
been,
Hut.
Yeah.
that's been on Tumblr for like a billion years.
Yeah, that's a
don't worry.
fantastic bit. That's a classic.
Yeah.
I like my favorite was the first one and the impractical one of taking a hard right.
Don't worry, I know about all this gay shit.
Guys, I renamed
Well-
Allison. Come out. I renamed the dining hall.
Hold
Oh
on.
my gosh, are we in game now?
But
Yeah, I started it up finally.
Wow, 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 wow.
no, the reason it got stuck was because the boat was too large for the canal, and they predicted this years and years and years ago.
How
They
did
said-
it get turned perpendicular to the canal, though?
Because
I
it
thought
just
that was the issue.
because imagine trying to back into a driveway with a semi with the back attached to it.
But how did it turn, though?
I
Because
know
you could
that
still
it's
turn it, but it's not gonna be able to turn well.
Yeah.
It was too large for it, and they literally said part of the reason they're building a second canal in the Panama is because the Panama Canal is too small for the boats at the
But I
size they
don't-
are
The
now.
boats keep
Yeah, it
getting
is.
bigger, but the canal has not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
the-
also because the pilots have to turn over control to the pilots, the little tugboat people,
Yeah.
pulling them across, and something losing power while it was going, so it drifted.
Yeah, and there's like wind or something.
Yes, the wind said "F you" and shoved it
There
right
there
back.
was a lot
Well,
of
that's
there was
yeah,
a
that
lot
was
of
the
wind
drift.
that made it drift, and then it was too big to
Bro,
like have a
confused.
lot of extra
Okay.
room to deal with that. Wait, did you guys get this one already?
So we went with Tomboy Steakhouse?
Do we actually have steak in here?
Do we
A
actually
step
have steak?
excavator.
Did
I
you
like the
guys get
skull
this
dog.
one yet?
He's cute.
Oh God.
The skull dog. I love it. He's cute, Mike.
Yes.
So you didn't see that one already?
No,
Right.
we had not seen that one. We had not seen step excavator. No,
Oh, I see.
that is fantastic.
Oof. My...
I like the Cyndaquil better than the Totodile.
Well, you're wrong, but it's
Wow.
okay.
All starters are valid. Come on, don't be like that.
No,
But
no,
of
they
the
are not.
plushes, no, the Cyndaquil's better.
What? What?
I'm looking through the pictures posted.
Oh yeah, Tyler was
I'm catching
ranting
up.
to me the other day about how horrible a starter Torchic is.
Wow! Is he like...
I was like, first of all, why wouldn't you pick Mudkip? Look at
Right,
it.
I mean,
Second of
yeah.
all, like,
Sorry, I'm
don't
a
have to be
Trico.
mean about it.
Gosh, I forgot how you
Trico,
dodge roll.
Trico.
I really
And
so
like
also,
all
it is
three of
pretty
those
shitty
things.
that Blaziken gets like
Nice.
no actual like fighting
Blazed.
move,
True.
or
Blaziken?
even like physical
I don't-
fire.
Yeah.
move.
It's a block.
Care for that ugly chicken.
Did someone
But
say
it's the
There's
only
no need
one
to
with
be
a good
rude,
action
Mike.
figure.
What the fuck? Why is it so foggy? Is that normal?
Mike's been vaping.
Damn.
His hot boxer set him up. Rob, can you
Hey,
close the fucking
how do you like
door?
my cloak?
Who put
Absolutely
this windmill
not.
here? What? Oh, that's very fluffy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Allie.
Do you like our stone road?
Yes, that there is a road here. I see that
Yeah.
now.
We have a stone mill. We have a blast furnace. We have
You have green
I was
smelly metal.
distracted by this excessive amount of fog and forgot to actually look at the.
a spinning wheel. Be careful, don't prick your
I
finger.
feel like it
or
hasn't
you'll
been
fall
that long
asleep.
since I feel like it hasn't been that long since I played this, guys.
I know.
A
Do you
week.
like
Friday
like our
night,
trash
even?
can lids?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hey, what do you
I
mean
feel like
some-
I missed a lot, but I also feel like it has not been that long since I played this. I feel like you guys have too much time on your hands.
What do you mean something happened to the Blazy Memorial Lodge? It looks fine to me.
I don't actually know.
Yeah, everything is in order.
What is
Nothing
this
about the
windmill?
massive amount of trees that have
Oh,
now
it
spawned
makes-
Oh,
around
well,
it.
yeah, I mean, that just kind of happens.
Barley flower?
No, it didn't just kind of happen.
No, that's
Like
just,
druided
that's just
you.
nature.
I druid you.
That's just nature taking
I
its
planted the
course.
trees all around your house.
Hmm.
That's
They
chill.
actually cut the ones
What?
down in
Did I
front
pick
of your
something
house. Unfortunately.
Artisan table.
Are you an
But yeah, Allie,
artisan
the new map comes out on Wednesday
on Wednesday?
for
What?
Among Us.
Yeah, I don't.
I know, but that's why Monday is.
Oh yeah,
out
no,
on
I
Wednesday.
recalled that after you said something. I recalled that was a
Oh.
thing, but I previously forgot what day it was.
I have
Allison would
5
go
thread.
sicko just like Dan will.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Allison, you
should
should play
join
Among
us.
Us with us.
Yeah.
I'm not really that into that game.
But it's the new map.
Yeah,
Oh my
but
god, it's the new map. Aren't you excited?
But deception games give me anxiety.
I get that.
Just
I
tell
get
the
enough
truth.
of that in real life.
Wait, Allison, you mean you have enough attending stressful meetings where people have confusing conversations that don't actually progress anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like 50, not, I think there was like literally at least 10 emails back and forth that I was included on about whether something should be recorded as a bug or not. And it was like a
What?
lot. And eventually they were just like, okay, no, you can just get rid of that. We don't need it.
Cool.
Like, okay, cool.
My favorite thing is
Thanks.
being included on the CC line of an email
Allison.
because it's like I don't have to actually engage with this, but I'm involved.
Yeah.
We have new foods that we can make.
I noticed there was a windmill which was producing some sort of foods. Also, I accidentally picked up a bunch of metal, so that's cool. Put that away.
Yeah, pick up in this cart. There's flour. Pick it up.
I did pick up
Uh,
some flour from the windmill.
Okay, cool.
So what do
I
you
will
say?
pick up all of these other things that I didn't have though.
What do you say, gang? Is there still a need for wood in this society of
I
ours?
feel like
Always.
there always is a
Alrighty.
need for
Always,
wood.
baby.
Any
We actually
particular
need
type?
iron.
Any
We need
particular
iron
type
to
of wood?
craft
I
padded
feel
iron.
like this is going to like pretty much always be a highly carbon-based system here.
Oh god, I love carbon. Can't get enough of the stuff.
What
Oh, yeah,
kind
we
of
only have
carbon do
5
you like?
iron.
Do you like
Shit.
the like really big, tall, leafy carbon, or
Yeah.
like the extremely compressed, shiny carbon?
I like the kind that's full of electricity and water and is very like stressed out all the time and hates
Allison,
its
did you
existence.
see your farm?
Like me, or
Yeah, you.
are you,
Did you see
are you describing
farm?
me? What?
Yeah.
Did you see your
Sorry.
farm?
No, I didn't get that far. There were so many shiny new things, and then being reminded that my life is bad.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That your life is busy.
Yeah, that too.
We've had to save the bees multiple times. They've died so many times.
The,
What?
Why?
What is this fucking
Thanks.
B movie shit?
Things
Didn't Morgan
bee
keep,
Freeman
towers keep
convert this
getting
place to a bee
destroyed.
sanctuary?
Why?
we don't know.
keep going in and finding them gone off the bee post.
But there you go, Allison. Turnips.
Not the bees.
How have they been?
Oh,
No.
Better than they were before. Oh, Allison, we started a new garden.
Oh.
I mean,
Did
we
you?
have nothing but turnips in here, but we have a different thing going.
Okay. Am I
Whoa!
still in charge of the
Whoa!
turnips? Because like
Oh,
I'm
it's
kind
just
of
a
over
troll.
it at this point,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay, I can handle this. I can handle this. I can
What?
I
Rob,
can handle this. It's fine. It's
Rob,
fine.
you
We're,
good?
We're good actually.
You
It's just
good?
a-
What I hear Rob noise.
It's just a troll. It's
You
just a troll.
It's okay, Rob. I'm coming with Mjolnir.
Dude,
No,
this
no.
troll's gonna be
It's okay.
dead.
Take your time.
Oh, okay.
Agreed.
All right.
No,
It's a
weird.
big hit. Big hit over
Yeah, I'm
here.
coming with Mjolnir.
No, I
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
Meow,
I have
meow, I'm
iron,
coming with
I have
meow,
iron
meow.
armor.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that.
my health bar is huge.
I have iron armor, baby.
What, did you
This-
eat the blood pudding?
This troll can't fucking
And
stop
lox
me.
meat and sausage.
Blooding.
My health is at 39 and it's like a seventh of my bar.
Mood.
This
Kidding,
troll
not my mood at
literally
all.
isn't shit.
What?
Should I use my poison bow or my frost hammer?
Blood
Yes.
pudding.
Shoot the hammer
Right.
at the projectile out of the bow.
Fish wrap.
He just ran through like 3.
Health 90.
Crazy.
Damn.
I'm fucking turned up on necktails and mushrooms right now. I can take on this troll like it's nothing.
Damn.
I just hit a Grey
Oh,
Dwarf already fell
damn.
through the earth.
I did it all by myself. I beat this troll without any help.
Good job.
I almost died.
I
Did you
believe
really? Oh my god, look at your health. What happened?
I didn't eat anything. I only had 25
What?
health, and it took me down to 3.
Look, you didn't have to come out here, but you do look really badass with your cool goat helmet.
It's
Bro.
a dragon helmet.
Do you want
Right.
to see an interesting thing to check out combat stats?
I would love to see an interesting thing to check out combat stats.
Oh,
So you know the thing, you pull up tab, right, and you click the triangle to look at skills.
Yeah, for sure.
Click the swords on the right of that.
Swords on the right. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me click that real quick. Take damage from other Oh no! Stop! Wait, why are you dragging me? What? I will not be dragged.
What is occurring?
You can't do anything about it.
Can I undo this? Is there anything I can do about this? Like literally?
No.
Oh,
You're gonna drag me into a pit and make me fight monsters.
Yeah, do it. Get him out of here.
You're gonna give me the Skyrim treatment.
no, we're doing the we've been bad, so now we have to work together.
Oh yeah, it's like when they put the kindergartners on a leash and like lead them around.
Yeah.
That's us right
Yep,
now.
you're on my leash.
Oh, no.
Rob,
who-
you run out to
I mean, if that's
troll
what you're
too many
into.
times.
Oh, I'm free. I'm free.
No, we need to do that to Dan.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
be free.
Uh-oh.
We need to rope Dan in here so he doesn't go ranging out and die in the
Yeah,
plane.
exactly.
The toddler leash. Okay, but like, is it normally this foggy or what?
No,
What happened?
it is a climb that can occur.
What?
What are you climbing?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
You turn it off.
Josh, how do you dodge roll? I forgot.
Block,
You
Wow.
have to block and then try
movement
to jump.
button, and space.
Oh, now we're schmoovin'. See, if I knew this when that troll attacked me, he'd be dead. He'd be dead by
What do
now.
you-
I can't get him.
Try
Are
and
you
hit
sure?
me. You can't touch me.
I just did.
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
I think.
No, you didn't. You didn't touch me. No, you didn't.
just
You didn't
did.
hit me. You didn't hit me. You didn't hit me. Not on my screen. Whoa! Wow! 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 What is that? Hey, do you mind? Do you mind? Hey, do you mind?
It's a Draugr bow.
What are you drawing?
Who?
Draugr.
I barely know her.
Yeah.
Do you want a tower shield, Rob?
No, fuck no, I don't want a tower shield.
All
I have
right,
a
fine.
I
Fuck
have a
you,
circular shield.
idiot.
Yeah.
Alice's taking a look at all the new things.
Yeah, I gotta. Whoa. Chill.
Allison,
I had to
inspect it
repair.
for quality workmanship.
I'm a hero. I have 9 raspberries.
You're the hero of the
We don't need raspberries anymore.
Oh, there's
Excuse me,
better
but I
armor.
want jam.
Yeah, what do you mean we don't need raspberries?
Jam is worthless now.
What do you mean jam is worthless now?
I like
because-
jam.
Yeah, what the
Because
fuck?
we have turnips.
Oh,
Fuck your
okay.
turnips.
Yeah.
And we have blood pudding.
I mean,
Stupid.
raspberries are still good for mead, right?
Find me one person who's like, oh,
Mike
fuck
doesn't
yeah,
know how to make mead.
turnips are so much better than jam.
Why?
Because in this
Insane.
game they are.
What do you mean?
Turnips are stupid. The vegetable of morons.
That's,
Hello?
That's what I've always said. Turnips are the vegetable of morons.
Hello?
John,
Hello.
it's John.
Oh, it's John! Oh my gosh, John!
Rob doesn't
Hi!
get the notification ding when someone comes in.
Yeah, I don't get the notification ding when someone
John.
comes into the chat.
But wait, this isn't
Where
iron,
do you
this is
where do
silver.
you fall
A
in the
cat!
Oh, this is what
raspberry
we need.
debate?
We
Excuse
actually
me,
need to
sir.
fish.
Can I help you?
We
There's a
actually
tail
need
in
to
my
fish.
face.
We do actually need to start fishing.
I'm updating.
Excuse me, there's a
Yay.
tail in my face.
Is that desirable?
Not really.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Josh loves it when there's a tail in his face.
I mean, isn't that just how Josh exists at all times, really?
Yeah, that's his like
Oh,
ground
choice.
state.
It's okay,
He
he just
doesn't
walked
look-
across my desk to get to the window
We
that he
need
could
to-
easily just jump up to.
Let him.
Hamish loves the thermal exhaust from my computer. He likes to try and sit on top.
Aw, baby.
Let him.
But
Let
there's
him.
There's
Hey.
a fan.
Yeah, let him.
Hey,
Let
hey,
him.
Josh.
There's a fan exit. over there.
Josh.
Yeah, let him.
Have him sit on that.
Josh. I have questions about the strip steak.
No.
No.
What can you tell me about
You're
the strip
barred.
steak?
But you called this the Tomboy Steakhouse.
I know.
So what? Yeah. So
Don't
I
worry
have
about it.
questions about the strip steak.
You're barred. You can't come in here.
This is my
He's not a
favorite store on
bard.
the Citadel.
Thanks, John.
Oh, that definitive edition's coming out soon, isn't it? Ah, I'm so excited.
Bet it is.
The definitive edition has a Tomboy Steakhouse. In it,
You can
right?
be disappointed all over again.
I know.
If it doesn't, I'm
Dude.
sure someone will mod it in.
That is
Yeah.
like etched into my memory.
What is?
The ones this like I think my last
Hello?
spring break at Penn State,
Rob?
Hey, hi.
and like
I can
Mass
see you
Effect
now.
3 came out
Good.
and John played it over
I
like
was
the week or
startled.
two of break. And
I
like
played it
when I
twice.
saw him after break, he was just a broken man.
I literally played it twice because it was so shit I couldn't believe it.
You
I thought it
game?
was broken, and I thought I did something wrong, so I
It's
played it
weird.
twice just to make
Wait.
sure.
Wait, what? What is?
Which game?
Mass
Mass
Effect 3.
Effect 3.
3? Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, John, you played
He
through
was
it
a
again
ghost
and
of a
got
man
the
when he
different
came back.
ending, and
Oh,
that
no.
changed everything, right? You got a different ending, and the color at the end was different or whatever, and that validated the whole
Look
thing.
at this guy cold
Right.
without a cloak.
I got the best possible ending the first time. It was just
Which-
so shit I didn't
Which
expect
color
it.
is that one,
Yeah,
John?
which color's the best
Red.
one?
Green.
Red. Oh my god. Yeah.
Red would be if it goes based
I would
lore-wise.
argue that red probably is the best story ending, but they intended for green to be the best ending.
Sure.
Well, that's
John,
pretty
we have a
funny.
training stone here. You can punch that.
I have 29
there's-
gold.
You're done.
That I would
There's
like to...
there were 3 endings. Now there's 4 to Mass Effect 3.
Whoa. 4.
Yeah,
Just
they
patching
patched one
another
in because people bitched,
People
and they
were
hated that one too.
people were mad, so they added another color because that would fix it.
Yeah, what was the 4th color?
There is no color.
Blurple.
Blurp. Yeah, I think that's
Blurple.
Slurple.
So basically, the ending didn't make a whole lot of sense unless you subscribed to a particular conspiracy theory, which ended up being way more thought out than the actual ending of the game was.
Oh
which
my
is
God.
disappointing.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Yes. Because it
Yeah,
was all
yeah.
there in the game. It was all there
The
in the game.
conspiracy theory made more sense than the actual ending.
Hmm.
Till they
Right,
came
right.
out and actively said no, that isn't happening.
Aw. Spoiled everybody's fun.
Well, I mean, they literally made it seem like he was being indoctrinated with all the signs of indoctrination.
Yes.
And then the ending was literally everything was mirrored as if he was in a dream.
And the kid was there, which was weird.
Yes.
Like, the whole Crucible thing didn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, why
That-
was that a thing?
All of the
Uh-huh.
choices were based on all of the actual, like, game 1 and 2, which were seen as bad. So the green ending, which was the synthesis, was what the first villain was pushing, and he was indoctrinated. And then it was taking control, which was
is what the
blue
villain
ending.
of the... Well, you
Second
could
one, yeah.
arguably the main villain of the second one, although he's almost an anti-hero.
Yes, which was what he was pushing, and he was indoctrinated. And then the red ending was destroying them, which was actually,
That's what Admiral Anderson wanted.
which was the good ending. Yeah. So it was just,
But there was, like... It was weird because there were sacrifices that happened if you did that didn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, per se.
Uh-huh.
So, John, I do actually...
everything explodes,
I have a-
and everybody is isolated on Earth.
And,
So-
well, that, and they contradicted their own DLC from number 2, where they're like, it wasn't that bad when you blow up all those things. I was like, you literally said in your last DLC that should event A happen, it would extinguish all life in said solar system. We just made event A happen in every solar system in the galaxy. Ergo, everything should be fucked.
Yes.
No, that would be consistent, John.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, come on.
Do you
How
want me to
dare
spoil it? Because I can. It's
How
like
dare
10
you
years old at
expect
this point.
internal consistency?
I
I mean,
don't-
I feel like at this point I'm not gonna play it, so like,
So,
Okay,
Again,
John.
they're
so there's
coming out
4
with a-
endings to Mass Effect 3.
So wait,
The
John.
f-
Two things real quick.
Yeah.
Number one, I love hearing you just explain video games at me. I feel like you have a real talent for it. It's one of my favorite things. And
yeah.
I mean
well,
that.
I'm glad you like it.
And then number two, current year, it's March 29th, 2021, right?
Right.
I'm just gonna Google something real quick if you give me a sec.
I mean, they're coming out with.
They're
the
coming
Mass
out with
Effect
a
that's gonna be
remaster.
No,
Sure.
okay, look. Okay,
If you
Mass
wanna
Effect
play that.
3 came out in 2012. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I have not played any games in this series. Is it at all worth playing today?
I would argue that Mass Effect 2 is one of the better Western RPGs ever made.
That's not a super high praise.
So
Yeah, I tried to play the first one and it was just too.
So the
Yeah,
only reason
same.
why I can't say best is because it's retroactively made worse by the third one.
Wow,
Yes.
really?
Yes.
So-
like
Rob,
how
this-
Game of Thrones was pretty good until like the last season came out, and then like you can't tell people to watch it anymore.
It's literally that. Yes. That's kind of
Well,
what it is.
it's more like, imagine if the last season of Game of Thrones was good all the way up till the last episode, and only the last 10 minutes, and the last 10 minutes of said episode
Were
ruined
so
the
shit.
entirety.
They broke the entire series. Yes.
Got it.
Because
All
even
right.
Mass Effect 3 up until like the ending is very solid.
I mean,
Very,
it is
very
true
solid.
that in many cases an unsatisfying ending can like ruin the entire thing
Yeah.
for people, even if the rest of it was like phenomenal.
Well, I would
And-
also
and
argue
people-
they did it to themselves because they promised a lot. Like, you carried your progress through each of the games, you literally imported your save file. So you kept your character and all your stuff and your
Yeah,
relationship
like,
with people
like in
and
Dragon Age.
Wow.
yeah,
of.
decisions carried over. So
But no, I mean, John, you as a computer scientist, you could see the natural problem with that is that each choice compounds more choices.
it does compound more
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah,
That
if
is
you
such a-
actually made every choice matter, then you would have like a bajillion endings.
Yes, there were somewhere in the neighborhood of
Even
I
if you
wanna
only
say
made like a
600.
fair amount of the choices matter, you would have like
Yeah,
over
there were
100
some like
endings.
600 end states to the game.
Oh my gosh.
even if you only made like 5 or so choices, have like 3 different options in each game. It's like that's still like a lot of endings.
Yes, there's certain number of endings. So I don't know if you ever played The Witcher 3, but
I
the
did.
ending of The Witcher 3 can change depending on certain side quests, even if it's
Yeah.
just like the very very ending where we're talking about, oh, this character did this.
Yeah.
A
That's
similar
cool.
thing happened with Mass Effect. So like there's a lot of side stories that can change depending on what you did too. But mainly, so I guess I'll just cut to the chase. The ending
Yeah.
of Mass Effect 3, there's originally 3 choices patched in a 4th one. The 3 main choices were destroy, control, and synthesize.
What are you destroying,
So-
controlling, and synthesizing?
So the main antagonists of Mass Effect are an entity known as the Reapers. And the Reapers are basically Lovecraftian monstrosities. They're horrifying beyond all comprehension.
Robotic
John.
Lovecraftian monstrosities.
They are partially robotic.
What can you tell me about the Reapers?
What can I tell you about the Reapers?
Yeah.
They look like Cthulhu.
Oh, cool.
They look like giant floating Cthulhus, and they have death lasers. And they make these sounds like blah that are like literally taken from War of the Worlds. And
Sounds
they're
like what?
absolutely fucking terrifying.
What sound?
Blah. It's like a deep foghorn. It's creepy though.
And it's literally one of the sounds you hear as you're being indoctrinated.
So
cool.
what's interesting is that the Reapers existed
There you go,
long
Rob.
before
What?
any current sentient life.
Oh
in
my
the
gosh, Dan
galaxy.
joined!
Dan! That was
Dan!
Dan.
Hey,
Daniel, it's story
So
time.
Rob,
Yeah,
Story-
it's...
Yeah, perfect timing.
look at the kill shit chat.
That's
and you'll
what a
see-
Reaper looks like.
that's what a what looks like?
Reaper.
Enemy
Oh.
from Mass
A big
Effect
boy.
3, which apparently had a horrible, horrible
Yeah.
ending that
Well,
John's
it's
going
an
to
enemy
explain
for
to
the
us.
whole series.
Whoa,
So you know
that-
what? I'll just tell the entire story
Yeah.
Yeah.
from the beginning.
We're ready.
Let's
Yeah.
just go
Story
into
time.
it.
Let's. John is
Yeah.
our scald today.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Who tell us
Okay.
the Viking story?
So you start the original Mass Effect. You get to make your character, and you get to choose one of 3 backgrounds that only sort of matter.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And it plops you down as like a commander on the ship,
Shepherd.
and you're supposed to team up with like this dude who's a Spectre. Spectres are like super agents of the Galactic Council. They are technically above the law. They could just do what they want. And the only
007.
people they answer to is the Council themselves. Now,
Oh, no.
you're on a mission with this guy, and you go to this this planet called Eden Prime, which is set up as like Earth's new colony. See, humans are the newest spacefaring race on the block. They started expanding into the solar system, and it turns out in the Mass Effect universe that one of the moons of Pluto is actually a frozen relay.
Cool,
And
cool.
relays are what make hyperspace travel possible. Basically, did you ever see the movie Stargate or any of the shows?
I haven't, but I vaguely know. About
They're like
Stargate.
warp
Get the
points.
general concept.
You can get from one part of the galaxy to the other really fast by using these warp points.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Right.
And they're all over the Milky Way. Nobody knows why they're there. You find out later why they're there. So, humans activate this Mass Effect relay before the start of the first game, and it basically ignites a war in the galaxy between humans and Turians, because it's against galactic law to activate a relay.
What?
Because people don't know where they go, and they don't know what's on the other side, so they're pissed scared of some
it was in
scary
our
shit
solar
coming
system.
over. Yes, it was in our solar system.
Yeah, wait, why
but
was it Pluto, by the way? Is
why
like-
was it Pluto?
Yeah.
Why not?
Probably lore convenience, so that it wasn't like. Why wouldn't we have known about it by now? Oh, we'll just make it really far away, but not too far away.
Far enough that you could kind of get there, but not so far that it would be weird that you didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the first moon landing, they're like, oh, dunk, this is a relay. What's good?
exactly.
In like the 50s or whatever. Yeah, okay.
So it's funny. There's actually an ancient alien base that people find on Mars that lets humans develop like light speed travel, but even that isn't fast enough to get you across the galaxy, which is why you need the relays. So
Okay.
anyway, humanity ends up in a war. Eventually, peace is brokered, and humans are now part of the galactic group of races, but they don't have a seat on
John,
the
are you
council.
just punching rock here?
I am punching a rock.
Okay.
Skilling up my rock punching.
Okay, cool.
So target dummy.
So humans are like the new kids on the block that everybody just kind of shits on for a little bit.
Yeah, that's about
Right.
Because they're
Yeah,
like, who are
right.
these fucking upstarts? Who gives a shit about these people? So they don't even have a place on like the council, so they can't make galactic laws. They just have to listen to everybody else.
They sit at the children's table.
So you're a candidate to become like a human Spectre, which is like one of the first inroads to humans getting more of a say in the galaxy.
Uh-huh.
You know, so you're doing like a trial run, and basically, human colonists unearth a Prothean artifact. Protheans are an alien race that existed before the Galactic Republic. They've just been around for a very long time. They disappeared, and nobody knows where they went. But whenever you find one of their relics, it's like a really big deal, and you need to tell the council about it, because that is how basically the galaxy comes up with crazy new tech breakthroughs as they uncover lost tech. From
They
the
just
Protheans.
copy them from people before them.
Exactly, and this is lore important. So remember that we've copied
Way
all our
easier to just
technology.
copy somebody else's technology than make up your
Exactly.
own.
We're the space Chinese. Anyway,
Oh no.
the mission goes awry because basically a Reaper shows up, and turns out Saren, who
Dan, come here.
is a specter for the council, is like working with him and attacks Eden
Oh.
Prime and kills
I
everyone.
think I
and it's
got.
a
I
bad
think this is
time.
about as far as I got on the first game.
Yeah, that's like the tutorial. So eventually, you escape in the Normandy with, your commander, head on back to the council, and you tattle on Saren. You're like, Saren's being a bad boy, he's working with a Reaper, and the council's like, Reapers don't exist, you chuckle fuck.
Oh shit, that's literally how far I
That's what-
got too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think you probably saw me wearing a shirt that says, ah yes, Reapers. Which
That sounds familiar, yeah.
that's just the council's literally making fun of you for basically believing in a children's tale. They're like, Reapers don't exist, you
Yeah.
silly bitch.
You believe in
So-
Bigfoot, like whatever.
Yeah. So basically, you spend all of Mass Effect 1 chasing around Saren, and it culminates with, like, you get a bunch of allies on your side, you get teammates, you learn backstories of them. They're really cool, they're
Mhm.
very in-depth. You can romance certain characters, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most well-known point of the game.
It is very well known. But you make significant decisions regarding, like, all the areas you go to. Like, you have the option to release or kill the last known species of Rachni, which are basically Mass Effect's version of the Zerg.
Oh, nice. Okay, I know.
Except they're singers.
They're nicer. They're nicer Zerg.
They like to sing. They see things. They're space lobsters.
Yeah, but they have like a hive mind.
Oh,
They have
cool.
like a telepathic connection to each other.
Space lobsters, they will eventually be crabs.
I love a good hive mind.
Yeah, there's you
I
basically
love a good carcinization.
end up confronting Saren on this planet called Vermeer, and you like assault the beaches, and he's trying to like build his own army. He's trying to get the Krogan on his side. Krogan are like basically space orcs of Mass Effect, but before the beginning of the
Sick
game,
of them.
yeah, before the beginning of the game, they had their population artificially reduced because they were starting to take over the galaxy. So the Solarians, which is an amphibious race, developed an engineered plague that makes them partially infertile. They can
Wow.
only reproduce at a certain level. I know
That's
it's
pretty
really
weird.
fucked up, but it's more complicated than that because the Krogans were technically a pre-warp race that was elevated to a warp-capable race by decision of the Galactic Council because they were losing a war against the Space Zerg Rachni people. And they're like, this species is really good at fighting. We should give them warp drives so they can fight our enemies. And it worked. And they won. But then they started conquering everybody else. And they're like, oh no.
How
Yeah,
could we
We
have
have
seen this
made a
coming?
mistake.
Yes.
Oh no,
So-
the consequences of
I
our
mean,
actions.
And the
That's
Krogan-
literally the subplot of Mass Effect is how many mistakes can the Galactic Council make?
Now, see, the Krogan never would have developed warp on their own because they were going to die out because they got in a nuclear war on their home planet and killed all life except for themselves.
Oh, of course.
So they did kind of get bailed out. See, it's complicated. There's complications. Like
Right.
Imagine
there's
starting a
people that
nuclear
make
war on
bad
your own
decisions and other people that also make bad.
That like the
decisions.
Star Trek thing, like, look, if you don't build spaceships on your own, we can't help you, sorry.
Yeah, they have like the Prime Directive going on there.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. But
Okay.
long story short, like Saren tries to play into that and is like offering a cure to the genophage to get the Krogan on his side. But
Is the genophage
stop
the
that.
plague?
yeah,
Yeah.
you stop that. You have a Krogan teammate. He can betray you if you don't choose your dialogue options right. He's like, I'm gonna save my people. Fuck you. You know?
That's fair.
But you can win him over if you did like a bunch of missions for him. You're like, nah, man, I'm on your side. And Saren only wants to free you so he can make you his slave. You know?
That's
Gotta
Yeah.
win him over. So you end up meeting up.
No,
with-
I'm using you for good reasons.
Yeah.
You end up meeting up with Saren there, and there's this dialogue exchange where you actually get to talk to a Reaper for the first time. The Reaper's called Sovereign, which is important because Reapers are technically a hive mind unto themselves. Reapers have like thousands of consciousnesses contained within them, and they talk with themselves. So when he calls himself sovereign, it's because each Reaper is technically its own government into itself. Which
Weird.
it's very weird, but it's very interesting,
Yeah.
you know. So you get to you get to talk to this Reaper. Holy fuck, man! The dialogue from that Reaper is fucking sick. It's fucking sick. He basically calls you a skittering insect beneath his notice.
Oh,
And
nice.
tells you, and he's not really wrong. I mean, he's the size of a space station
A big boy.
and shits death beams. So,
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that
about
checks out.
right.
so like the line of dialogue that I still fucking remember is, "You exist because I allow it, and you will end because I demand it."
Whoa, that's raw as hell.
It's just
Are
fucking
you
dads
kidding?
on you.
Brilliant.
I gotta remember that from playing some kind of game against some random person.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's such a
Oh,
fucking
Among Us.
awesome villain line.
Among Us, that's the perfect line for Among Us as the killer.
Yeah.
It's like you're down and it's only one kill left. You exist because I allow it. You die because I demand it, and then just kill someone. Ah.
Yes.
So you
Guys,
end
watch
up
out for
fighting
Mike on
Saren
Wednesday.
on Vermeer, and during this time, one of your teammates will die. There's
Oh,
no way
damn.
around it.
You have to
So
choose
what?
which one to sacrifice.
Yeah, you have to choose which one to sacrifice.
I do
And,
recall hearing about this.
You fight him off Vermeer. Eventually, you chase Saren. Saren and his Reaper buddy decide to attack, the Galactic Council, and you have the option to go in and save them with like the human fleet that you have at your beck and call, or you can let him eat it. You can let Saren just fucking kill him because you're like, you should have listened to me. Why don't you just fucking die, you stupid Galactic Council?
What
'Cause
was
they've given
that?
you shit
The
whole game.
Reapers don't exist?
Exactly. You can let him eat it. You
'Cause they immediately
Like, sorry, I guess I won't help you because the Reapers, don't exist.
Yeah.
and then they're like,
you
"Oh
don't need any
shit,
help with
Reapers
them."
exist, but there's no more than just one Reaper."
It's funny. Along the way, you learn more about the Prothean and basically how all the Prothean are dead and the Reapers killed them all.
Oh.
And the Reapers existed before the Prothean existed. So they've been around a long fucking time.
Yeah, damn.
I
I mean, do the Reapers have any cool tech that we can like copy their homework off of?
we're getting to that.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, brief aside. Where do we put linen? Because I made a chest for it and then it got destroyed, so I don't know where to
Oh
put it.
yeah, we have it in the chest over here.
Oh,
The
okay.
forge area. This bottom
Oh, that
one.
makes sense. Okay. Sorry, John. Continue.
Yes. So you go and you fight Saren, and you can either, save the council or let him eat shit. It's up to you. If you chose your dialogue options, because you've met Saren several times along the way, you can literally convince him that he's a puppet of the Reapers and he needs to kill himself, and he'll fucking do it.
Whoa,
You can charisma check the final boss.
You can charisma check
that's
him to death,
awesome.
which just basically puts him in the face too, because the Reaper
I
just
do
the
enjoy
Reaper
doing that in
reanimates his
games.
corpse. Go ahead.
Like in Fallout New Vegas, where you're like, nah, you should just like leave or whatever, and they're like, nah.
Yes,
I
you
guess
can.
so.
You can charisma check him to death and put him in phase 2.
Wonderful.
And you fight and you win. And depending on whether you save the council or not, if you save the council, humanity gets a seat at the table. They're like, yeah, you're cool now. You get votes now. If you didn't save the council, humanity just straight up occupies the citadel and says, we are the council now.
Nice.
I mean, yeah.
We are the
It's
council.
like we could join the council, or we could be the.
I
council.
thought we weren't good enough to join your council, so we made our own council in your house.
Our council now.
Common thing to do.
My city now.
Well, the humans absolutely hate it. So
My
they
city
they
now.
become the council and they're like, well, this fucking
This,
sucks.
yeah, this is really
Oh
hard.
man, we got responsibility.
You
we gotta
have the
do
option to
shit.
put different people on the council, and the
Oh.
person who you think is best at the council is just like, he's a good man, but he is not a good politician.
Okay.
Or
that
you can
checks
make
out.
the not so good man, but a way better politician. You have like your option there. It's
Yeah, that
interesting.
sounds about right.
I can't remember what I chose. I think I chose to put the good man as a poor politician. But I
I
can't
did too,
remember.
and he never forgave me.
No.
John, if you made me a politician, I would never forgive you.
What is that? What's my...
So that's
fair.
basically all of Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 2 starts out with you fucking dying.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
That's
get
cool.
murdered at the very start of Mass Effect 2
Nice.
by these people known as the Collectors. Basically, the
Okay.
Collectors are this mysterious group of aliens that'll just show up to random colonies, kidnap all the sentient life there, and peace out with them.
Pretty rude.
they're
So-
like Pokemon masters.
Yeah, but like with abductions.
Yeah.
My people now.
Like I said, like Pokemon masters.
They're like the British.
They just
Yeah.
want to be the best.
So, Mass Effect 2, you get resurrected, quote unquote, by the Lazarus Project. Basically,
Jay.
human separatist terrorists think that you're the bee's fucking knees and spend trillions of credits to bring you back from the dead.
Wow.
And they're like, we brought you back to life, please work for us.
Hey,
And you kind of are
sidebar.
like,
Compelling
Well,
argument.
I guess.
Compelling argument you have there.
Because they give you a ship, and they're like, we want you to do this thing, and maybe you're a good person, maybe you're a bad person. This arrangement will benefit both of us. And you're like, okay, that sort of makes sense. And you join up with him, and basically, it's like a heist job where
Fuck
you want to
yes.
go to the Collector's base in the center of the galaxy
Yes.
and steal all their cool shit. Because you know the Reapers are coming from the ending of Mass Effect 1, because Sovereign was like the first Reaper in like an invasion wave that's coming
Okay.
to the galaxy. Now,
Hey, John.
yeah.
Just a little sidebar. Didn't XCOM have something called the Lazarus Project?
Probably, but it's ripped from the Bible, so it wouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me.
I'll
I
look
mean,
that up
so
real
many
quick.
things use the Lazarus
Yeah, Lazarus
Project.
is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like a
I
crime
mean,
Frank
it's
Frank
bad,
There's a
Herbert
bad.
Doctor
had
Who
a book called The
episode.
Lazarus Effect, and yeah, you can use all of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Batman.
No,
I mean,
Batman.
straight up.
That's it.
Yeah,
The Lazarus bits from
So-
Batman.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big deep cut, right? But XCOM had a DLC called the Tactical Legacy Pack, which added a bunch of old assets to XCOM 2, like remixed music and levels and stuff, and then injected a tactical storyline into it. It basically, you know, the whole strategy layer of XCOM, it strips that out and it's just tactical battles, like 15 of them, right? And
Huh,
the fourth chapter of it is called the Lazarus Project. And just to continue on this tangent a little bit, I was so bad at XCOM 2 that I had to quit my first run of it because I played so poorly.
Is that where the commander comes back from? Is that a prequel?
It actually ends up leading to very little. What it does is it bridges the gap between XCOM 1 and XCOM 2 and shows how gosh, what was that guy? What was the guy's name? Braden? Braden?
They get the player character out of the thing.
No, they don't even show you how they collect the player character.
Well, yeah, because that's the first mission of the tutorial.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it takes you up to that, right?
It takes you up to that, basically. It shows
Okay.
how the commander's second-hand guy, who I'm
Bradford.
Bradford! That's it. I'm like, it's not Braden. Yeah, it
Dude,
shows
I
how...
want to be him for Halloween. I
You
want that fucking
should!
sweater vest.
Holy shit, you should, dude! You would
I
make a
want
fan...
that sweater vest so bad, you have no idea. I actually looked for it online. I couldn't find one.
So-
I was very upset.
John,
I
spoilers to the Lazarus Project. The final mission is Bradford getting his sweater vest back from the aliens. I shit you not.
I
That's
can't tell
the,
if that's legit or not.
that's the end of the mission.
I just looked up a picture of the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. John would make a fantastic Bradford. Are you kidding me? Like, for sure.
Good luck, Commander.
But yeah, so that's what the DLC does. Is it bridges the gap between XCOM 1 and XCOM 2 and shows how Bradford assembled a resistance in the commander's absence. And the final
Pretty
chapter
cool.
of
I
that.
think I played that a long time ago.
Yeah, what it was after I canceled my first run of XCOM because I played so badly and was so bad at the video game, I played through the entire Tactical Legacy pack, and I actually ended up getting pretty good at it because I just mainlined like 15 tactical missions in a row and like got a sense for how the game worked. And then I started my run proper and I kicked ass because I was so much smarter and better at the video game.
Dude, I fucking love XCOM.
So good.
There's actually somebody wrote fan fiction
Of course they
that
Go on.
combines the universes of XCOM, Mass Effect, and Command and Conquer.
Holy shit, that sounds so good.
I know, like they actually
Like,
fit
yeah.
really well together.
I feel like that lore would be very compatible, yeah.
But
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take you on that
No,
tangent.
that's
I
fine.
fucking love XCOM. It does have a thing called the
XCOM is a
Lazarus.
fantastic game. You should absolutely love
It's
it.
so good. I want XCOM 3 so badly. But
we,
yes,
we sort of got one, but I guess we're waiting for the real one.
I enjoyed Chimera Squad. You can read my review on Steam. It's very long.
I think we did.
I probably did.
I think I read it.
It's very
To everyone.
cringe.
We did a hot take when we saw
But
it.
yeah, I think we did like a reading of that one.
Like a dramatic reading.
Yeah, that sure.
Yep.
Actually, I feel like any text I write should not be read by human eyes ever. Actually, because that's pretty fucking
Too late.
cringe. It's
They
pretty
liked
cringe
my
to be
reading of
known.
it. They told me I should start a YouTube channel where I just read
Rob,
your
you
reviews.
showed us your internet forum, Rob.
Yeah, like
Allison,
nothing to do.
Counterpoint, you showed us your forum.
so let me explain. Basically, my life is like a unending fight between the desire to be known and the desire to like hide any and all cringe. Basically, the problem is those two things are inseparable.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty embarrassing ordeal to be a person and to be known.
Oh shit,
That
there's
sums it up,
skeletons
yeah.
here.
I understand.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the Lazarus Project. John, if you would like to continue your...
Sure, I will absolutely continue with the story of Mass Effect 2.
I am enthralled.
So, Mass Effect 2, you start out on the space called... there's this terrorist group called Cerberus. They were in the first game, but very much in the background. They take center stage in the second one. They're the people that brought you back.
I
They're
don't
led
remember
by a
this
dude
at all.
called the Elusive Man, who is played by Martin Sheen. And holy fuck, is he so good at his job.
Who's Mark? Oh,
He was
wait,
the president
fuck,
from West Wing.
is he the person I'm thinking of?
He's the old guy in National Treasure. He's
Yep.
Nicolas Cage's dad.
Okay, yeah. All right, fuck yeah.
Wait,
And
I
what did
thought
you
that-
say?
I thought that was John Voight.
Was that John Voight?
He-
Maybe it
he's
was.
not-
It was John Voight.
It was John Voight. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm looking at this guy right now, and who did you say? What did you say he's called in Mass Effect?
The Elusive Man.
The Elusive Man. That's very good.
It's
Yeah.
he's a very good. He's almost an anti-villain. It's like Barbarossa-like in some ways.
Yeah.
His interest is in humanity ending up on the top at the end of the day. And they can't do that if they're dead. So you need to stop the Reapers.
Pretty straightforward motivation.
So yeah, it's a very solid motivation there. He gives you a ship and gives you tips on how to put a crew together to go raid the collector base at the center of the galaxy. So you go around, and the entirety of Mass Effect 2 is you building a team together.
Is
so
it
you
all
go
leading
on...
up to this heist?
Yes.
God, I love a good
Yeah,
heist. Holy
It's
shit.
fantastic. This is why Mass Effect 2 is so fucking good, because the characters get so much more focus on them. Because instead of going out to different planets to do specific missions, your missions revolve around each character to recruit them, and then each time you recruit a character, you get a loyalty mission for them to embolden them for the final mission. You want to take care of all their affairs because technically it's a suicide run.
Okay.
So you want
Oh,
these people like all set up to do this.
that's
Don't-
very good.
Don't rush into the final mission and get 80% of your team killed like I did the
Yes.
first time I
Oh my
played.
God.
Because they can die for real. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Josh
think I
going for the
recall
speedrun
watching
strat.
somebody play this, and it was like, yeah, if you've done their mission, you can like save everyone, but if you don't, you have to like
Rip.
sacrifice someone.
And it puts so much more focus on the characters, and the characters are very good. There's there's
genetically modified
there's
sexy girl.
Miranda, which is a girl who's genetically modified to be perfect in every way.
and
and-
every camera angle is on her butt
Yes.
because
I
it's
did
the
see an
It looks
article
like
that
my
was
aunt.
mad about that.
The Miranda is
Okay.
kind of like snooty in a certain way, but she is romanceable. I wasn't a big fan of her, but she's there.
Yeah, we
There's
all know who
Jacob,
you
who's like. I should actually go over their loyalty missions too. 'cause
Wait,
they're
did you
pretty
say
important.
Jacob's in this?
Yeah,
Dude, what?
although Jacob's black in this, so he's not quite the same Jacob.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of problematic if I'm
So
being
He didn't
honest.
eat Doritos, I don't think.
Miranda, she joined Cerberus because she was basically an experiment by her dad to create like a perfect human, and she wanted nothing to do with like her
I-
family, so she ran away and joined Cerberus. Cerberus sheltered her, so that's why she's with them. Jacob, he joined up with them. He's looking for his dad, who got lost as like a freighter captain. You end up finding his dad, a part of his loyalty mission. Turns out Jacob's dad wasn't so nice of a guy. He got stranded on a planet where if you ate certain plants, it made you kind of dumb.
Huh.
So
I
he
think I might have
fed
been to that planet.
he fed all of the crew members that survived the crash of their freighter on this planet the food that made them dumb, but kept the regular food for himself, and basically lorded over them in like a Lord of the Flies type
Oh my
way. Got rid of the
God.
men and was basically banging all the
Damn.
women all the time.
What?
Pretty fucking rude.
Yeah, it was pretty like, whoa.
That's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yes. So you eventually rescue them, and the food is only like partially toxic. So eventually the people recover after a couple months.
Oh, nice.
But like, it got real Lord of the Flies there. The next people that you can recruit, there's this Solarian called Morden Solus. He works as a free doctor on one of the first places you go to called Omega, which is like a mining colony in an asteroid that's run by criminals. The place is corrupt as fuck.
Nice.
It's not a place you want to be. It's not a place good people are. But he's there helping like the lowly and downtrodden as a doctor on Omega. His whole thing is that he was one of the lead scientists that generated the genophage.
Mhm.
And
Oh, no.
his loyalty mission involves going to the Krogan homeworld and seeing the progress of it. Basically, you find like a lab where Krogan are experimenting on themselves to try to cure themselves of their genetic disease. You find like a bunch of dead Krogan women trying to become fertile again. It's very disheartening.
Yikes.
You said he worked on the genophage?
He helped develop it, yes.
That's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
He feels guilty about it.
Okay. Why'd he do
The
it?
whole mission there is to assuage his conscience, and it just ends up making him feel more guilty about it.
Oof.
The there's a another person you recruit on Omega is Garrus. He was a member of the first game. He basically quits the police to join you because the police are a bunch of do-nothing shitters that aren't catching the real criminals.
Sounds about right.
In the first game, you have the option of helping him track down an organ harvester.
I definitely know the
And
most about this character
I've
because
heard of
I
this
I know
one.
like this
Garrus
character a lot.
is all about calibrations. You may have heard his calibrations. That's the
Yeah.
name for Garrus. So
Yeah, like several of my friends that are into Mass Effect, like romance Garrus all the time apparently, so I know the most about this.
he's
character.
one of the prominent people to romance if you're playing a female character.
Hobbies include
I didn't
romancing
romance
Garrus.
anyone because I the character I wanted to romance wasn't straight, so I was like, I guess I'm not romancing anyone.
So
Relatable, except
Garrus is
the other way.
Garrus is an interesting fellow. He's kind of like your best bro, basically, as far as Mass
Yeah,
Effect
he's
goes,
cool
because he's in
looking.
all of the games. In Mass Effect 2, he basically, since he quit the police already and you're dead, he didn't have like a plan about what to do, so he moved to Omega and became Batman of Omega. Only
Yes.
he's all about killing all of the criminals.
Yes, Garrus
He's not.
rocks.
Yes, they call him Archangel,
Fuck yes.
and he's just
This dude
murdering
kicks
criminals.
ass.
Oh.
And eventually he
Okay.
bites off more than he can chew, and you got to bail him out.
Mm.
He's got a fun mouth.
You find out, like during his loyalty mission, he used to have like a whole squad of like people on Archangel's side, but they were betrayed from the inside, and it got like their whole squad killed, and he wants to kill the traitor. That's his loyalty mission. And you can either help him kill the traitor, or you can help the traitor escape. Because the traitor ended up being a traitor under duress because criminal gangs had like kidnapped his family. And
Moral
see,
ambiguity.
yeah, see, Garrus is one of the more interesting characters in that you can take him down a more virtuous path or a more Punisher path,
Yeah.
and your decisions will alter his morality as the games go forward.
That's cool.
So those are the two first people you pick up. Then you move on to you basically move around the galaxy looking for where the collectors have been to. You end up at you end up on this one planet that has like this really weird solar radiation system where like if you end up in the sun, it drains your shields. So you have to like fight in the shade. And that's where you meet up with Tally, who's another returning character from the first game.
John's waifu.
Yes, that's my waifu from Mass Effect.
But they
Tally.
took a
Out.
generic stock photo from the internet and made it look like.
Well, we're not there yet. Mike,
That
we're
sounds
not
about
we're
right,
not there
Dad.
to how they massacred my girl yet. We're not there
Yo.
yet.
Oh no.
I just looked up Tally. She's got like a cool like mask and hood and shit and like a cloak.
Yeah.
She looks
Yes,
badass.
so Tally is a Quarian. Quarians have to wear suits all the time, even among, the galactic races, because they don't have a adequate immune system. They just drop if they get any infections.
Oof.
Because
Yeah, me too.
microbes on their homeworld tended to be symbiotic rather than aggressive.
Hmm.
And they're all basically dying out because they lost their homeworld to a rogue AI called the Geth.
That
Right,
name
that-
sounds familiar.
That
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
sound familiar.
Well, they're semi-rogue.
Now, the Geth
interesting.
they were kind of a bad guy on Saren's side in Mass Effect
Oops,
1,
I
but it
pushed
gets
the
more
wrong button.
complicated as things
Ignore
go
that.
on. Ignore that.
Yeah,
So-
accidentally hit F.
So you meet up with Tally on this planet, and you have to like basically help her finish her mission. Things aren't going well. People die. As you can imagine, being a Quarian and getting in a battle, if you get grazed, there's a good chance you drop.
Oh, because it
Right.
ruptures your suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
things aren't going so hot there.
John, wasn't
Yeah,
was
that
it
sounds
the
bad.
immune issues also because they were living on ships?
Yes, that's
and
the other half
ships
of it.
were like always clean, and therefore they were not introduced to anything.
Well, they also couldn't get the microbes from their homeworld. That because the microbes on their homeworld were symbiotic with them, it helped boost their immune system. So because they lost access to their homeworld, it made them a lot more fragile.
Right.
They're also a race that isn't on the council. Krogans are also not on the council. So they don't have a lot of say in things.
Rude.
Her loyalty mission involves meeting up with the Quarian fleet and investigating what happened to her dad. Her dad's like an admiral in the Quarian fleet. He's like a big deal. But it turns out he was doing like some forbidden experiments
Uh-oh.
to try to, help turn the tide against their war in the Geth to get their homeworld back.
Right.
And you have the option to cover it up or expose it. And see, what makes this interesting is Tally ends up on trial.
Right, Ace Attorney, let's go.
Yeah, you're her lawyer.
Yes!
And if you use the fact that her dad was the one to do it in court, you'll win the court case, but she'll stop talking with you.
Oh no!
Because she doesn't want her dad disgraced. And she'd rather
Oh.
be guilty than have that happen.
It's
So
morally
you have
complicated, Ace Attorney.
Yeah, you have to dance around the issue and investigate other avenues and try to win the case without using your decisive evidence.
That's really cool. That kicks ass. I love that.
Yeah, it's a good time. Another character you pick up around this time is Jack. Jack is an interesting character. She's a jackass, but it's probably part of the name. She's an incredibly powerful psionics user.
I also know about this character from them being one of my friend's favorite characters.
Yes.
Allison
She
learned
was
about
one
Mass
I
Effect through
actually-
She was
osmosis.
one I accidentally boned.
What, Rob?
You learn Mass Effect through osmosis.
I would be
Accidentally.
afraid to bone Jack because I am 90%
Yeah, I
sure
learned
would
Mass
come away
Effect
with a
mostly
galactic
through my
disease.
friends being horny for all the characters in it.
There it is. Okay.
So Jack, you break Jack out of prison.
Oh,
Jack
nice.
is an incredibly talented psionicist, and she's in prison for basically going around and being... Oh gosh, how could I describe this? You ever see Mad Max? She
I
lives
have.
life like those people.
Okay.
So,
But that's partly because it turns out she was being experimented on by
Yeah.
Cerberus.
she was kidnapped as a child and experimented on by Cerberus, which is why she's a powerful psyker. And she's got this complex that she had the worst time at this facility. Well, it turns out she was the prime candidate, and all the other kids at the facility were fodder for her.
Whoa.
And it's she comes to the realization, and it kind of makes her go a little bit nuts.
Yeah.
But basically, you help her hunt down the people responsible for the facility. That's her loyalty quest. Really interesting stuff.
She
Yeah.
also really hates Miranda, so
Yeah, because Miranda's the goody two-shoes face of the organization that did all that shit to her.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Broad is not fit.
And as you do loyalty missions, some people will come into conflict with each other. Like Jack and Miranda will have a fight on the ship, and you have to break it up.
yeah. And then that could also affect their loyalty too.
Yes, yeah, if you don't handle it well. There's let's see, another character. There's Grunt. Grunt is a genetically engineered perfect Krogan, with the exception that he is part of the genophage-corrected Krogan. He's a lab experiment created by a Krogan scientist that didn't view the genophage as a curse. He viewed it as a way so that only the strongest Krogan would survive.
Oh, eugenics.
Yes.
Oh.
So he was like,
Why not?
why
have
are we
some
trying to...
a side dish of eugenics with your
Yes.
genocide?
He was
Yeah.
like, why cure the genophage when we can just evolve out of it? Because, see, this is another side plot. The Krogan have more genetic variants than a lot of other races, and the Solarians have to keep going back and reinfecting the Krogan with new strains of the genophage, because due to the nature of the genophage as a population suppressant, if a Krogan, because it isn't trying to sterilize them completely, it's trying to bring their numbers down to a post-industrial level. It's specifically designed for this. Because it still allows some repopulation, the Krogans that can repopulate through it end up more resistant to the disease. So they keep having to tweak it over and over again, because the Krogan are slowly evolving out of it, because obviously the affected Krogan can't reproduce.
Right.
That does make sense.
Yeah, so
The ones that are more resistant to it are obviously the ones that are going to
exactly.
continue
Now,
repopulating.
you free him from like a vat at the end of his recruitment
I
mission.
love being in a vat.
And his loyalty
Oh,
mission
no.
basically revolves around, since he wasn't like a born Krogan, he's like existing starting out at like adolescence. And he's like he's trying to reconnect with his people. It kind of sort of follows Worf from, Star Trek Next Generation, where he feels a little bit fish out of water with his own people. He has to like discover his own culture. So you take him through like the Krogan rite of manhood, and you have to kill a giant sandworm the size of a
Yes.
skyscraper. It was really
Aw.
cool.
That's cool.
So that's
Culture.
Grunt's story. The other people involved are there's Samara. Samara is an Asari. They're one of the oldest races, actually the oldest race on the Galactic
The
Council.
sexy aliens.
Yes, Asari are all women, and
They appear.
They
what's
appear-
most attractive.
yes,
To
they
you.
appear to you what is most attractive in a partner.
Wow. They,
As your
they really
race.
got the horniest writer for this one, didn't they?
Well,
Oh, they did.
Asari reproduce by
Telepathy.
touch. They basically touch and mind meld with you and absorb the pattern of your DNA, and they will take their own DNA and match it against that pattern as like a hash table and pop out a new Asari. So Asari are actually
And you would make
encouraged.
that comparison.
I would make that
Nerd.
comparison. Yes.
Well, that's how it is for people. That's why you can't hold hands with someone
It's-
until you're married.
It's like how
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I would know.
it's like how they got around it in the Percy Jackson series with Athena having kids. It wasn't she was actually having kids; they just sprang from her thoughts and ideas.
I mean, that's
Similar
how
to
it
how
actually
she
was in
sprang
Greek
from Zeus's
mythology,
head.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
that's how it actually
her
happened.
children
though,
were
you know?
birthed from her ideas and knowledge.
So it's very interesting because the Asari, they're encouraged not to intermingle with their own race because you can get genetic diseases by being with their own race. So it's encouraged for them to engage with alien species. Although it's weird because Asari are basically like space elves and live for millennia, so they're basically going to outlive anybody they partner with. So they
That's
always
rough.
talk about like all the partners they've had. They're like, "Oh, I remember this century when I dated this cute little Terrian,"
Yeah.
Nice.
Wild.
So Samara is an Asari she's an older Asari. She
It's also a good excuse to be gay because you can repopulate with anybody.
You can. Although it's interesting. See, Mass Effect gosh, how would I describe it? Mass Effect Andromeda tried to introduce like a bunch of pronoun things to Asari, which is weird because since they're a monogendered race, they wouldn't really have them. But that's another story.
Like in
The,
Steven Universe.
They're closer to being genderless than they are really having a gender.
Exactly. So they basically did a retcon, and they retconned it in a way to meet certain social standards, but they could have retconned it in a way that still met those standards that made sense, and they didn't do it that way, and it irked me.
They
Because
they tried to be woke, but did it in an unelegant way.
They could have been like, it's a translator update, and it would have made perfect sense because everybody can talk to each other through universal translators, but they didn't go through the effort to make it make sense, which bothers me.
That leaves you
That's
to
like
make
a
your own
minimal.
headcanons of making it make sense.
Yes. So anyway,
That's better than how they would write it. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. So anyway, Samara is an Asari that is very old and basically had been with another Asari in the past because long ago it wasn't so verboten to be with another Asari because, on their homeworld they were only with themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
It's a $5 word.
So
For boat.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
It's German.
that's German.
Forbidden.
Yeah, the
Sounds
Asari
cooler in German.
that she was with, basically they produced kids, but the kids had a genetic condition that the Asari call Ardok Yakchi, which basically means that if any of the kids try to reproduce with another sentient being, they will mind kill that person.
Oh,
Whoa!
that's
Oh.
rough.
And
But pretty handy if you want to mind kill people.
what what
I mean, okay.
it literally kills them. Like, it doesn't mind control them, it kills them.
Yeah,
by,
yeah.
Like, blowing their brain out.
Power word death, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you die
Ardak when
in
they
real
do
life.
this, it's basically like the best orgasm ever mixed with doing all of the drugs. So they
Nice.
really like it when they kill people when they do this.
Oof.
All of her kids end up having this condition. Two of
It's like an episode of My Strange Sexual Addiction.
Yeah.
No.
Two of them go to a monastery because they don't want to be murderers. One of them decides being a murderer is the hottest thing ever and basically becomes like a scourge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
And
checks out.
Samara's now her goal in life is to hunt down and kill her daughter.
Wild.
She like took a sacred oath to like go like bring her in.
Well,
My
I
horny-
made this mess.
My horny daughter is killing everyone and it's out of control.
Yeah.
They really
So-
did get the horniest writers.
Yeah,
possible.
that's what
Her
I'm
loyalty
saying.
mission.
Jerry.
Her loyalty mission, you go and you find her daughter named Morinth, and you can either tell her where Morinth is and have a fight and kill Morinth, or you can betray Samara, side with Morinth, and kill Samara, and Morinth will side with you.
Oh.
But then if you
But
romance her, you die.
If you try to bang Morinth, you die.
Is there an actual scene where
Yeah,
you
that
try
kicks
to
ass.
romance her and just fucking
Yes.
beef it? That kicks
Yes.
ass. That's so good.
Yep.
That feel when you just get fucked to death. Game over.
Death by Snoo.
Exactly.
Game
So
over, boys.
they'll let you kill yourself for the poontang. They'll let you do it.
Well,
Props
if you
to
gotta
them.
die somehow.
Dip pile?
So that's Samara's quest. She's an
Cerberus
interesting
could just bring me
character.
back.
Yeah.
Her
Worth.
characterization is very grim for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
She's a very somber person because she basically has to hunt down her own kid, which is really fucked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I'd be
Let's
pretty
see.
bummed too.
There's two other baseline characters. There's Thane Krios. Thane Krios is an assassin, but he's an assassin that's trying to retire.
Uh-huh.
His
Because
is
he's-
a race of reptilians that also lost their homeworld due to environmental changes, and they joined up with another race called the Hanar, which are jellyfish people.
Yeah,
And
those
basically, they get lung rot and die from not
Oh.
being on their arid homeworld anymore.
That's rough.
Yeah, he's got a terminal illness, and he wants to stop being a hired killer. He was a hired killer for the Hanar for like saving his life, but he doesn't want to kill anymore, and he doesn't want his son to follow down the same path, being like a hired killer. His quest is to try to get his son to not be a hitman. And you do like a police procedural and like do stealth missions and hunt down his son and try to get him to not do an assassination. It's very touching.
Now, when you say try to get him to not do an assassination, you probably mean like talking to him and sympathizing with him and figuring out like what's brought you to
Yes.
this. But what I imagine is like a Home Alone style like series of like MacGyvered like, oops, you tried to shoot someone, but this thing slapped your hand out of the
You have
way.
to mess up his kit.
Yeah.
Also, like, there's options in here where you can bias people towards Paragon or Renegade, which is the alignment system of the game.
Yeah.
Paragon is like you want to be kind of like Jean-Luc Picard, and Renegade is I will do anything as long as it makes my mission of stopping the Reapers happen. If I have to kick every puppy to make that happen,
Oh
I will
no.
do it.
Mr. Ends justify the means over here.
Yes. Now,
Would a
in some
renegade,
ways-
for example, punch a journalist in the face?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
this-
would Paragon me, because I punched that journalist in the face
Yeah.
because it was funny as hell.
Yes.
So,
Well, nobody is all one thing or another.
yes, but you do get benefits from proceeding very far down one of
Mhm.
the paths. It's
And
one of the
some-
drawbacks in some people's respects.
And some options you can't pick unless you're full one side or the other.
Yes,
Okay.
you need to get like significant points in one or the other. So Thane Krios, he's an interesting character. He also, the reptilian race is very interesting because they have very vivid memories. They can experience almost like a lucid dream-like state where they can vividly remember like everything from a moment.
Oh.
So they can
Damn.
remember like every single second of a moment.
Wow.
Which is why he wants to
Every moment
retire.
of cringe you ever had.
He
Yeah.
can remember all the kills he's done all the time.
That's heavy.
That would be a
Yeah.
burden to me. Yeah.
Now, the last baseline character of the game is a character called Legion. Legion is a Geth.
Does he have a bunch of people in his head or whatever the fuck? Let me guess.
They
Sean.
are.
Does he have a bunch of people in his head?
Legion is like an autonomous Geth drone, but
Yeah.
he can also invoke himself with the rest of the Geth, and they have like
He's got a worm eye
distributed
face.
processing system. Yeah. So basically, the
I
Geth
am
are an
lethal,
internet of
for I
things
am
that
many.
you think.
Oh, damn. So it's like if my Hubulbs gain sentience.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that.
So the Geth were made by
Aquarians.
the Quarians to be the pretty much the help. They were meant to like farm and do all these
Yeah,
tasks. and
menial labor.
things. Yes, and then the Geth started getting smarter and were like, we don't want to be slaves.
The Geth started gaining actual intelligence. Now, it's
They're like, we
illegal
made
to
robots to help us make stuff, and the robots are like, hey, we're alive now.
Yeah.
And that's your
So-
problem.
Well, it's
That's
illegal to
your
make an
problem.
AI in the galactic grouping. You can make things called VIs, which are characters that are basically almost AIs, but they don't
They're
have
like
self-awareness.
simulating intelligence, but not
Yeah.
really there.
You can
Like
make something that's
VTubers.
almost... So Legion is actually an AI.
Which is
Okay.
why the Quarians were like, it
That's why they
became a
got no
thing of-
help.
Yeah,
Oops.
it
Yeah.
became a thing of, well, we
Oops,
either
we
free
created
them or
life.
we just destroy them all. And the Quarians decided, we'll just destroy them all. And the Geth were like,
And they
we
weren't
don't like
really
that.
a fan of that idea for some
Yeah.
reason. What the
Yeah.
heck?
So that's what happened with the Quarian and Geth war.
But they
the
don't
Quarians
hate
did
the
not win.
Quarians. So it's one of those weird things.
The Quarians are basically pariahs because the Geth exist. Like
Mhm.
they can't be allowed in like the civilized republic because they created an AI. And AI are a scourge that you can't make because then we're going to have AI wars and those are bad.
Do you want AI
Mhm.
wars? This is how you get
That's
AI
right.
wars.
So the
Shit.
you basically go on Legion's loyalty mission and you end up interacting with a platform full of Geth, which is like basically an army worth of Geth. And you need to stop a Reaper incursion there that's trying to capture them to make them, you know, join up with them. Then at the end of that saga, you have the option to have the Geth make their own decisions or force rewrite their personalities to help you. And it's like a moral choice there.
I love you.
Wait, why wouldn't someone else have just force rewrote their personalities if
That was
that's
like
like a thing you could
That
do?
was like a scene from a
Because
cartoon.
nobody else has gotten to
bullied.
center of a Geth cluster, and you're only allowed in there because Legion took you there.
Got it. Okay.
Otherwise, they would have murdered you before you got that close.
What
That
if
checks
like
out.
Shepard just wasn't very good at programming and he's like, "Fuck, I forgot the semicolon that rewrites."
Legion
there."
does the action. You just don't.
Okay. What if Legion wasn't very good at programming and he's like,
Legion's
"Fuck,
very
I
good at
Oh,
programming.
okay, cool.
He's also a
literally
giant-
program.
He's a
also
huge nerd too.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
He's a giant Shepard
Like you,
fanboy.
John.
Yes.
He took a piece of Shepard's broken armor and replaced it with his own.
From where you died, like the first time, he scavenged your broken armor and wears the round.
Wow. I
He
don't.
fucking loves
It's kind
you.
of weird.
I don't know how to feel about that actually.
He's also like an avid online gamer, and he keeps getting banned
Of
for
course he is.
botting
Oh.
because he is a bot.
Oh,
Are you human?
That feel when you get banned for botting when you're literally an AI.
And
He
it's
can't
hilarious.
solve captchas.
So those are the main squad members.
Yeah, that's
DLC
true.
added
Can he
2
do
more.
the captchas?
Yes.
So DLC added Zaid, and Zaid is like literally just a mercenary.
Gruff
But-
mercenary old guy.
Yeah, and his loyalty mission is he wants to find his old partner. See, Zaid's actually had like reconstruction on half his face. He's got like huge scars. And he like his partner literally blew his face off and betrayed
Damn.
Oh.
him. And he's like, I'm
That's
not
pretty rude.
dead. You're gonna help me kill him.
Are we out of blood bag?
So he goes on like this
Aw.
wild like destruction spree, and you have the option to either help him hunt down and kill this guy, or make sure there isn't too much collateral damage along the way.
I
Because he
forgot
like
to put him
borderline
back.
blows up a refinery in the process of hunting this guy down.
Nice.
Well, bring them back.
I'm looking for Thistle.
I need them.
The other one is
So do I.
Kasumi Goto, and
Trying to make
Kasumi
mead.
is like
I'm making
a
something
thief.
better.
What?
She's a very, very good thief. She has like cloaks and shit, and her loyalty mission is literally a James Bond like
Nice.
side story where you infiltrate like a rich party and try to
Oh.
undercover crimes.
What kind of alien is this?
It's really fun. I love the
Kasumi's a
DLC.
human, I think. She's just a human.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kasumi and
boring.
Zaid are both human.
That's pretty boring.
Imagine being human.
Well, I mean,
You are?
Fuck that.
what is it? Kasumi, one of the few like she's what? Was there anyone else who was?
Is she
Because
cute?
Kasumi is Asian, isn't she?
Yeah, she cute.
There aren't too many Asian people in Mass
Trying
Effect.
to answer the question.
No, there aren't. Yes, Kasumi is very cute, I think,
Okay.
but you can't romance her. She's not romanceable.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, what's the
I
fucking
know.
point?
What's the point?
I
of
should
this
mention some other
Oh.
characters while I'm here.
Yeah,
The
she's pretty cute.
secretary in Mass Effect 2, you get a secretary who is very hot, but
Oh.
you have to be femme chef in order to romance her, which
That's
was
fine.
what made me really sad.
Just be femme chef.
I'm ready.
The doctor is she's a nice lady. It's a shame you can't romance her either. She's an upper crust British old lady, but she's like really endearing.
Yeah.
Your pilot is called Joker, and he's played by Seth Green, the guy who does Robot Chicken.
Wow, looking cool, Joker.
He
No, that's a different one.
he
He's
has
hilarious, actually.
You
Josh
also
hates him.
die at the beginning of Mass Effect 2 to save his crippled ass.
Nice.
Josh hates him. I like him.
Oh, no.
You have
He,
since
he's made of glass, so he's pretty much his.
he has
his
brittle bone disease.
yeah.
Hold on, this is
Okay.
Mass Effect, so I have to ask: is he literally made of glass?
No, he's a human with brittle bone disease.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Just
Think-
question.
Yeah, think like that Bruce Willis movie,
Like
Yeah.
that fish in Pokemon in
You got-
SpongeBob.
Unbreakable is the name, right?
Unbreakable. Yes,
You gotta get this man some milk.
he milk won't fix it,
He needs calcium.
but he became a
okay?
pilot, so I mean,
He's like that fish in SpongeBob.
Guys, I have
Yeah,
a
paper
wolf on
skin
me and
glass.
another wolf as well, and a werewolf.
Josh says, "Oh, you die saving his brittle, but he saves the entire crew
Several times.
several times
Hey, Rob, we need
with
more
his broken,
raspberries.
crippled body,
I have
crawling
eye out.
through with giant monsters like invading the ship, and he's like limping his way through the ship to save everyone."
He's like shattering
Yeah.
his ankles trying to like open the airlocks to pull
Yeah.
enemies out of the ship. He's also your ship in Mass Effect 2 has an actual AI on board because Cerberus doesn't give a fuck about laws and made their own AI.
Oh,
But
cool.
Fuck
it's
around
got
and
like
find out.
yeah, it's called Edie and she's very sassy and I like her. She has shackles on her though, so she's
Is she cute?
constrained.
Yeah, she cute.
Yes,
Uh,
Joker romances her.
Joker ends up busting her out of her shackles to save the ship, and they end up an item.
Yes,
that
he
checks
builds
out.
her a robot body. And
Well,
she
not quite. He
promises
builds
not
one
to
out of somebody else.
she promises not to break his pelvis.
Oh,
So,
Damn. Okay.
If that's not romance, I don't know what is.
Those are all the characters in Mass Effect 2. The ending of Mass Effect 2 is you go on a suicide mission to the Collector's base. You find
What?
out that the Collectors are heavily genetically modified Protheans. So they're like
Oh,
missing chromosomes. Like they're very heavily genetically modified.
cool.
And basically they've been kidnapping human colonists from around the galaxy, and they were trying to make a new Reaper. And it turns out Reapers are half technological and half biological. And you basically get a lot of people together and grind them into parts that you use to make Reapers.
That's
Yeah, they
not
were
fun.
making so
They were
the
making
Reaper
a
that
human
you
Reaper.
see was a
They're
hand,
making
and they were making a
the
human one.
Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, that's
So
what
it
I'm
was
getting out of
actual
this.
like a full-on robot skeleton.
Yes.
From that anime that
And you
John liked.
destroy it as part of the ending of the game. Now, there's one other important thing from Mass Effect 2. There's a DLC called the Shadow Broker. In the first game, you have an ally called Liara Tassone. She's
She's
an
the canon.
archaeologist.
She's the canon romance.
Yeah, she's an
Oh.
archaeologist and Asari, and she's kind of cute in the first game.
She's very
Starting in
nerdy.
game 2, she takes like 18 levels in badass and literally becomes like an international, or I'm sorry, an
Galactic
space, yeah,
underground
mastermind.
intelligence mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
like runs
Get it,
every
girl.
organized crime ring in the entire galaxy by the end of the end of that
Hashtag girl boss.
And she did it to like bail out some dude she fell in love with while she was trying to resurrect you. So she ended up
I
on
think
this
there's
path.
like a side comic where she's trying to track down Shepard's body and find out what
Yes.
Cerberus is
That-
doing with it.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
I missed something here. You said she was an archaeologist.
Yes. She
Imagine
studies
romancing an
Protheans.
archaeologist,
Who does that?
right?
What can you tell me about the Protheans?
So she's a good character. She takes a good section of like the DLC in the second game, and you basically kill off the current Shadow Broker and install her in charge. Basically, the Shadow Broker is like the head of all criminal syndicates, and people don't know who his identity is. And it turns out, like, people, whenever they find out who the Shadow Broker is, they off the Shadow Broker, take control of his ship, and use the automated systems to become the new Shadow Broker.
Oh,
So
nice.
she just offs the current Shadow Broker and is like, this is mine now.
You either become him or you die. That's literally
Yeah.
the
When you tangle with death like that you can either only get to the top or die. So
cool,
it's
I
very
like that.
interesting. That's basically the DLCs
you have
from
to
Mass
spend
Effect
time
2.
upgrading your ship or you die. And
Yeah.
then it's the so
You
before you
also have
even get there, you
decisions.
have to upgrade your ship. And if you don't upgrade your ship, you can lose people as you get there.
Yeah,
And
when you
then-
assault the collector base, there's checks that happen to make sure you upgrade your armor, weapons, engines, etc. And then when you get to the collector base, when you are going up to fight the Human Reaper, you need to pick people for specific jobs, and you need to pick people to their strengths, and if you don't, they can die or get other people killed.
Yes.
And
So if you
that's
lose
their
those
permanent.
people while you're trying to assault the base, you're pretty much screwed because then you don't have those people to make it out alive.
Yeah.
So you're like, I have someone who would be perfect for this job if they didn't just die on the way here.
It's also possible to beat Mass Effect 2 and have Shepard die.
What?
Oh.
What
Yeah.
happens
Explain
in the third
how.
game?
Well, you can't continue your save if you die.
Oh,
But it is a potential outcome. You can defeat the final boss, complete the mission, and still die at the end
that's
because
pretty
you have
cool.
to make an escape.
I think it's good for a game to have the guts to do something like that.
Which
Yeah,
is why people were
interesting.
pissed with 3 because they did such a great job with 1 and 2's endings.
exactly. So the last DLC for Mass Effect 2 is you find out that basically the Reaper fleet's closing in, and you go to a sector of Batarian space. Batarians are a race of people that came in contact with humans early and had conflict with humans. And while humans have ascended into the Galactic Council, the Batarians didn't, and it's worked out to their detriment. So they broke off all contact with Galactic Council and are basically forming their own empire, and they're like, fuck everyone else.
Cool.
It also doesn't help. They look very, very creepy.
Now, the Batarians happen to be on the edge of the galaxy, and it's where the Reapers are coming from. So you go there, and you're trying to like uncover what's happening with like the Reaper threat, and you basically find out that you got to this corner of the galaxy too late. The Reapers are about to get in, and if they reach the mass relay in Batarian space, they are going to take over the galaxy, and you won't have time to warn anyone because the mass
Uh-oh.
relays allow you to move all over the galaxy. So your plan is basically you need to disable this mass relay. Shit happens because people on this base are indoctrinated. I don't think we've gone over that, but basically Reapers have an aura around them and their technology that if you're around it enough, you will become an ally to the Reapers. They will mind control you over time.
I mean, that's how it is with Apple and Microsoft.
It's like a subtle process, and the more they mind control you, the less useful you are.
Yeah.
So it's like a light touch because you lose basically cognitive ability as you become more mind controlled.
That's how it happens
Right.
with Linux users.
Yeah. So Palestine
Thanks,
brought
Rob.
back 35 raspberries.
Nice.
I forgot.
So-
about
We
raspberries.
need pistol,
Put
Daniel.
that- We
Okay,
need
You
but
end up
both.
blowing up this mass relay due to the actions of the boss and the DLC and stuff.
Oh, point of order. There are multiple mass relays, right?
One in basically every solar system.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
But the explosion of a mass relay basically takes out the solar system. It's that
Oh
big.
fuck. Oh shit. Oh
The
fuck.
big boy.
So you basically wipe out the core world of the Batarians when you do this.
Oops.
And you try not to, but it doesn't work out. And you end up on trial on Earth for basically wiping a species off the map.
Yeah, that's
You
about
did
right.
oopsie whoopsie there.
So
Did you
that's
say
how
this is
Mass
a
Effect 3
DLC?
starts.
Oh, that's Mass
Yeah.
Effect 3. Okay.
Yeah, that's how Mass Effect 3 starts. You're on trial for basically genociding the Batarians. And you're like, you gotta believe me, guys. The Reapers are coming. And some people still don't believe you.
And then the
And-
Reapers show up on Earth.
The Reapers show up on Earth and start fucking everything up.
Hello.
And you basically get the
farm.
last car out of Dodge.
Nice.
How did they show up on Earth?
They warp in.
Rudely
Did they use the relay?
uninvited.
From-
Yes, because they get to another relay. Now, see, you know how I mentioned people were all basing their technology off of Protheans and shit?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
that
Well,
was a
guess
while ago,
what?
yeah.
The Protheans based off technology of people that came before them.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
Another race that you don't know about, but they based their technology off of the people that came before them. And the people
Yeah.
that came before them are the people that built the Reapers. The
Oh.
Reapers allow these technologies to be found because because technology is found, discovered upon, and then iterated upon, the Reapers know what technological developments to expect from people that gain cognizance in the Milky Way galaxy and start building up to becoming spacefaring. So they're called Reapers because they're harvesting people. They left their technology there because they wanted you to find it, because they wanted you to develop in certain pathways.
So they're always ahead of the curve. They're like one step above.
All according
everything.
to plan.
Okay. Wow. That's really cool.
Now, the Reapers do this, and this is sort of a retcon, because initially they had a different plan at the end of Mass Effect 2, and they rewrote it.
Okay.
The initial plan of Mass Effect 2 had something to do with dark matter and the universe becoming unstable. And basically the Reapers were supposed to be the solution to this. The ending that we got in actual Mass Effect 3 is that the Reapers exist to stop biological life from inventing a superior level AI that would prevent any additional biological life from coming to fruition.
How would that
Okay.
work?
So basically the Reapers are the quote upper cap on technology. If the Reapers say you're too advanced, they reap you. If
I
they
was
come
gonna say
across-
the name makes sense now. Okay.
Yes. If they come across a species that is pre-warp, they don't reap them.
So what would qualify as being too advanced, though? How would
If
they
you have a
make
warp
that?
travel.
drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, does a warp drive let you warp without a mass relay?
Sort of, but you can't go as far and you need fuel.
Okay. And that's
it'll-
that's too much, they say.
Yes. Basically, once you're at that level, you are at a level high enough that you could potentially create an AI that can threaten the galaxy.
Okay. How would an AI threaten the galaxy?
So, do you know how like the
Matrix.
Geth? Yeah, but on a galactic scale.
Okay. Okay. So
I didn't say it was the best writing. I'm saying this is what we got with Mass Effect 3, Rob.
It's
Sure.
the classic, if we make robots too powerful, they will want to kill all humans.
Which
for
is
some
why the
reason.
solution is to make robots kill everyone. As
right.
you can see, this is why I'm taking umbrage.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting hung up on. I'm like, well,
They got a different
it's kind of
writer
a
for Mass
self-fulfilling
Effect 3.
prophecy.
They bring back the space lobsters to help you because they're like, we heard the song of the evil things that made us evil and we want to help. And then you never see them at all because all they do is build a thing that doesn't do anything.
Yes. Basically, the entirety of Mass Effect 3 is, hey guys, we found some ancient Prothean artifact called the Crucible. We don't know what it does, but it's going to stop the Reapers. We're pretty sure. So we're going to make every resource in the galaxy go to not building a fleet or anything, but to building this giant-ass satellite because reasons.
Does it work?
Kind of.
Okay. It seems like most things in this game are like, does it work? Well, kind of. And I like that.
So, they could have used some more build-up to that, is all I'm saying. Because they kind of ass-pulled at the beginning of Mass Effect 3.
Like,
Mass
hey
Effect...
guys, we have this thing suddenly.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the plot
something.
now.
Basically, Mass Effect 3 is you going around the galaxy, trying to get allies to come together and fight the Reapers.
Right.
And it is a losing fight. You are not winning.
Oof.
Earth
You're
is
losing
gone.
worlds. Like, Earth straight up gets captured at the beginning of the game, and you get sent off, and they're like, go get help. And basically, you find out all the homeworlds of all the alien races are basically under siege, and they can barely help themselves.
Oh.
Like, the galaxy is basically losing to the Reapers.
Okay.
You get to cure the Krogans, genophage, because they're like, well, shit, we need
So-
these guys full fighting force, and like, yesterday.
Yeah, you basically do a bunch of Hail Marys, and all your decisions come to fruition, which is where things start to really pay off. You know how I said how Morden Solus really regrets putting the genophage together?
Yes, I do remember.
You have
that.
the option to take him back to the Krogan homeworld and cure all the Krogans of the genophage.
Oh, nice.
But when you do that, you have to send him up in the tower while a Reaper's attacking the planet, and he ends up dying.
But does he know that he was able to cure
Yes.
them? Oh,
Yes.
that's
But
good.
it's a very touching moment.
Yeah.
He even has like a very good line there too. Because you know that he's trapped there and he's gonna die, and you're talking to him on the comm link, and he says, no, couldn't have been anybody else. Somebody else may have gotten it wrong.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Which is very in line with his personality.
He is the very model of
A
Solarian.
scientist Solarian.
Yes.
He has a song that he sings about being assigned to Solarian.
Which is that I am the very model of song.
Yeah.
I am the very model of a modern major general.
Yes.
Yes.
That one.
He's
He's got a scientist Solarian spin on it, and it's adorable.
That's fun.
Yes.
That's very good. I like that. So, what other big payoffs are there?
So if you kept
Quarian
Thane
homeworld.
around, yes, the Quarian homeworld gets liberated. If you kept Thane around, he stops an assassination of. See, Cerberus is like anti-heroes number 2, and number 3 they just make them straight up villains, which sort of works, but it's kind of eh.
Well, they were kind of villains in 1 because you killed.
They were very much villains in 1.
Yeah.
But they were very one-dimensional in 1. They were never really... I don't think they planned to use them.
But you said they were kind of in the background in 1.
Yeah. They were basically one-note enemies that didn't really matter. But they got expanded in 2, and it made them more interesting. And then the third one, they're like, oh, the elusive man's indoctrinated, so they're all bad now. You have to fight them. And like, I sort of get it, and I agree with it most of the time, but it ends up where you just end up fighting a lot of Cerberus agents all the time, and they aren't the most interesting enemies. So, you know,
But
they
yeah,
just turn into like, this is the generic bad guys.
Yeah.
yeah, where they were much more interesting before that.
but you liberate the Quarian homeworld and find
Yeah.
out that the Geth were like, we didn't really want you guys to leave. We just wanted to be free.
You find
we're-
that out in Mass Effect.
They're like, we've been taking care of the homeworld, waiting for you guys to return, and you never did.
Now, what's important is, you know how we talked about decisions and being Paragon or Renegade?
Yes.
If you don't have enough decisions, you'll have to choose one side to win or the other.
Okay.
And you'll either lose Legion or you'll lose Tally.
Okay.
Because they'll kill they'll shoot each other and one of them dies. You know. If you have enough stats lined up over time, you can be like ultimate diplomat and make them come together.
Yes.
Now,
Although,
this is important because it really fucking breaks the Aesop of the series about how the Reapers need to exist to cull AI. If 10 minutes ago you literally just brokered peace between AI and biological
Oh,
people,
Yeah.
So the fact that you can do that undermines the main part of the game that they were trying to sell you, which irritates me a lot.
yes.
Yeah, but Legion's like a cool AI. Someone's gonna make like a bitch
Well, see-
bastard.
Well, all the
AI.
Geth-
Geth join up with all the Quarians.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So there's the Geth are at war with each other because half of them want to join, the Reapers, and the other half are like, no, we want to be with,
The
the
Quarians.
homeworld. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually have a mission where you actually have to reprogram or destroy the other Geth.
Gotcha.
You literally create with Legion create a program to pretty much make a
Yeah, you
vote
have to fight
happen.
Reaper incursions in their network.
Yes. You literally, it's like the Geth are having a vote on what they should do, and you have a program to make that vote, beneficial.
I see.
So
okay.
the other thing that's interesting about that is, if you do get them to ally with each other, they kind of form like a perfectly symbiotic relationship because the Quarians are in their suits all the time. They can install Geth intelligences to their suits and become like really strong fighters that way.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So they're borderline cyborg at that point. One of the other things,
Like Iron Man.
yeah, they basically get like Jarvises that are Geth.
Yeah.
The gosh, what was it? Edie, our AI from the second game, gets a body and she becomes a squad mate, and you can fight with her. Like you can bring her into battle.
Nice.
She's really fun. The squad mate that survived from the first game joins your party again. So
Whether that's guy or the girl.
Caden or Ashley. Yeah, one of the two from the first game.
I picked Kaden because Ashley
I did
had
too.
she had very xenophobic,
Ashley wants to bring everything home for Jesus, and it was a little bit much for me.
yes.
Uh,
She grew up in a military family who hated aliens. So,
now, to be fair, when we say hated aliens, humans' first contact with aliens was hostile.
it was war.
Like, they came through the warp gate and, like, said, oh, hi there, aliens, we're from Earth. And then the aliens just started fucking blasting.
They're like, nice. That's nice.
Because they
Die.
came through the mass relay. And they were
Yes.
like, so it freaked out the aliens. It was kind of a misunderstanding.
The Turians. The
Yes.
Turians were the ones who,
Uh.
and then the humans kind of just were like, well, shit, and then turned it around.
Yeah.
And the
So-
Turians were bitter about it, because Turians
They're
were
like,
considered,
hey,
like...
new friends. And the Turians were like, whoops.
The
mhm.
Turians were like, so anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that.
before the Krogan, the Turians were considered the
best
military
military.
race, yes.
Yeah.
And then, the Krogan happened, and then,
The
without the
Turians are very
genophage.
law and order.
Yeah.
The fact that Garrus like resigned from being a cop was like a shame on his family.
Because they're very military-esque, race.
They're very
So,
hierarchical.
they didn't take it well when the humans fought back well, despite just,
How dare they?
inventing warp drive. Yeah.
How dare they
Yeah.
not simply die?
But I mean, that's the whole point of us humans is literally a lot of our technological advancements can really be attributed to war.
Yeah, no, I mean that's very true.
So
And that's in every
Yeah.
field. That's
Yeah.
in every field. Like medicine, war,
You can fight war better if you don't die as fast.
It's
Yes.
it's very
or you fight
easy.
war less if you make them die faster. So,
That too.
we
It's
a
very
lot of
easy
medical
to
stuff.
If you can make
convince-
them die without war, then
You can get people to stump up money if you say that it's to kill bad guys.
yeah.
That their way of life is in threat. Yeah, that checks
the
out.
one of the other cool payoffs is Thane Krios saves a man from assassination despite being an assassin his whole time, the whole game. And
Unexpected
it kind of
twist.
like redeems him a bit when he's on his deathbed because he's dying from his terminal disease in Mass Effect 3. And he basically gives his life to stop an assassination attempt from a Cerberus assassin who's basically a cyborg ninja
Nice.
that literally has like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid Rising abilities.
Yeah.
Actually a cool enemy design.
Cool sword.
My favorite part of that game is he killed Thane at the very almost end of the game. You invade a Cerberus base, and he tries to kill you at the end of, like, after his boss fight, there's a cutscene and he tries to kill you. You can take a renegade option to turn around and run him right through the chest with your own sword and tell him
Nice.
that's for Thane, and I take it every time.
Yes.
That checks out.
So there's like a lot of payoffs in that game.
I mean, it sounds like
You
a
meet up with
lot-
everybody again.
It sounds like a lot of Mass Effect isn't necessarily about specific outcomes, but more about
It's about the journey in a lot.
yeah,
of
the journey and sort of the subversion and the more, I guess, like experiencing the moment to moment decisions. Like, I guess it's not like a choose your own adventure story where each choice branches to another choice, branches to another choice, and then you get one of 12 endings, you know? It's more like it's a ongoing thing, you know? So I mean, it doesn't sound like the very ending of the game is like the most critically important as the journey itself.
Well, you'll find out.
Okay, but having an underwhelming ending after such a long series, like, yeah, that's still fucking
Especially
sucks.
when they
Very
promise
amazing.
all
We'll
of
get
your
to that.
decisions will matter.
The one of your new squad mates from Mass Effect 3 is a Prothean who was frozen at the time of his people's
Prothean?
fall, and he's like now this was very controversial at the time because he was literally on disc DLC. He was part of
Ooh.
the game disc data, but you had to pay to unlock him.
Have you
People were
met
very angry about
any
this.
Protheans up to that point?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And his lore is important to the. He also has my favorite quote from the entire series. He basically tells you about how the Protheans fell. You found out like most of Liara's like Prothean history was like kind of wrong because all the records were incomplete. The Protheans were basically like a warrior race that just enslaved everybody, and were like Romans. They were space Romans.
Yes.
Yeah. And each Prothean had like an
Ooh, the windmill's going.
of like a symbol that they were supposed to represent. And Jarek, I believe, represents justice, but by the time you revive him, he has decided that he represents vengeance because his people are dead.
Fair.
His quote, which is probably the best one in the series, is "Ask the ashes of 1,000,000,000 dead souls if honor matters. The
That's
silence is your answer.
fucking
That's
good.
Excuse me,
The
sir.
silence is your answer."
That's pretty good.
Which
Yeah.
is pretty fucking metal. Like,
That's raw as
That
hell.
is pretty fucking metal.
it's pretty fucking metal.
And yeah, I guess
Um,
that kind of encapsulates his shift from justice to vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good. I like that.
So he's an interesting character. Basically, you go along the whole game trying to like stop Reaper incursions. Eventually, you build up what is effectively a fleet, and you help build the Crucible, and you go and take back. You basically start an invasion of Earth to try to take it back from the Reapers. You fight, you fight a whole bunch, and then
You're pretty much
basically you're not winning.
it's pretty much like D-Day the entire time on Earth.
Yes.
And that's what you're going through is like D-Day checkpoints.
It's an exhausting amount of combat, but it fits the theme very well. Also, when the fleet comes in, it's really cool. It's a very cool moment because it's literally every ship from every cutscene you've ever seen on screen at once because you got everyone there. Every decision that you made, you brought those people there. Okay, that Rachni that you saved back in Game 1, they
Wow.
brought some help in. That Solarian that you saved from assassination, they brought some help in.
Yes.
Those Krogans that you saved, they brought some help in. The Geth Alliance that you worked with the Quarians, they brought some help in. And they even get their own little mini cutscene as part of that calling in the fleet scene.
Nice.
Like, it changes depending on how many allies you got. And you can only get the option to pick endings if you got enough points on the Galactic Readiness score, which is basically their way of calculating if you did enough stuff. You get more
Okay.
points if people survived Mass Effect 2. You get more points if you saved, like, the Rachni in Mass Effect 1. You get points for everything you did in Mass Effect 3.
You get points for playing the multiplayer.
Yeah, you
you
used to
really?
actually have to play the multiplayer to get the best ending.
Are you for real? That's kind of shitty.
Yes. You could only get up to a certain degree. They patched it later, and you had to play the multiplayer. So I did play
Wow.
multiplayer so I could get the quote-unquote good ending.
Well,
That
it was
does sound.
multiplayer.
What if you don't have
What's
any
fun?
friends?
The
Multiplayer
multiplayer
was
was fun. I will admit that. It was
Okay.
actually very good, and it's kind of a shame because the remaster cut it out. It was actually
Huh.
one of the better multiplayers EA had.
See, I feel like it would be good to have it, but not, make it mandatory.
Yes. So,
Generally, how to make something less fun. Step 1.
exactly.
Make
You
it
go to
mandatory.
Earth, you fight your way through, you have a last talk with your companions, and you go and you're about to enter this warp point to fight the last of the Reapers, and this Reaper called Harbinger shows up. He's the main villain from Mass Effect 2. Harbinger is the name of the Reaper that taunts Shepard that the Reapers are coming.
Like
And
the
do you know
name?
how I mentioned the collectors when I was talking about Mass Effect 2?
Yeah, well,
Harbinger
you said he's the Reaper that taunts Shepard. That's at the very
Yeah.
beginning of Mass Effect 1, right?
No, that's Sovereign, and you kill him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You said it was Sovereign.
Harbinger is the next one that taunts you, and he stays alive through the ending of Mass Effect 2. But you never see him in person because he's not in the galaxy. He's in like the dark void between galaxies because the Reapers are on their way to the Milky Way.
Okay.
Basically, he can mind control collectors to fight you. So like, he'll show up in fights, but he's like remoting into drones to fight you all the time.
Conference
He
call.
taunts you throughout the entire game. It's actually a very cool thing.
Nice.
That's part of Mass Effect 2. You actually see him in person in Mass Effect 3, and he laser beams your ass. And
Nice.
basically, you stumble through that warp point with all of your armor broken.
Ah,
And you can't really fight, and you basically hobble along, and you're missing all of your companions.
Sad.
that's rough.
And you hobble down this hallway until you meet Admiral Anderson. He's like the guy that was on the ship with you in Mass Effect 1. He's like your buddy, who was like your commander. And he's been leading the resistance on Earth while you've been gone. And you, him, and the Elusive Man have a conversation. And you talk it out. And if you talk it out right, you can convince the Elusive Man to kill himself by
Oh.
convincing him that he is indoctrinated, which he is at that point.
But in order to
So
do
you're not
that,
even
you
lying.
actually have to have the most Paragon points you can get, and the
Yes.
only way to get that is by playing the game a second time.
Ah,
I mean that's a pretty big move, so it makes sense that you have to be pretty heavy into your stats.
I think the Renegade option is to kill him, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have a boss fight. It's just something that happens.
oh.
Wait, what? Do
There
you
is-
just like shoot him in the fucking head before the
Yes.
boss fight even begins?
Yes. There is no boss fight at the end of Mass Effect 3.
Oh, no way.
That sounds
No.
anticlimactic.
No, you go through that warp gate and you're at the ending. The only thing left to do is make choices. Now, you go to the top of an elevator right after that because Anderson dies of his injuries. Right there. So you're alone and you ride the top of the elevator to the top of the Crucible. And the Crucible is like this magic thing that's supposed to stop the Reapers or whatever. And you meet a little kid. This little kid is the same kid that when you leave Earth at the beginning of Mass Effect 3, you try to save some refugees, and one of them is a kid that doesn't make it and dies. And this kid haunts your dreams for the rest of the game. Now,
And your dreams are all shadowy.
they're
and
shadowy and inky, and basically they match every description of indoctrination,
Ooh,
which is why people kept thinking that maybe Shepard was indoctrinated,
that
or
would be a
that there
cool
was a
twist.
secret
Yeah.
choice. It would be, but the writers were dumb and didn't put it in. So, you get to the top of the elevator, and at launch day, you get 3 options. You can either choose to destroy the Reapers, but if you destroy the Reapers, you destroy all of their technology and all other sentient AIs in the galaxy.
So that includes like your ship. That includes all the Geth. That
includes everything that has basically been invented since
You have
anybody went
several
to
friends
space.
who are AI.
Yeah.
You do have several friends who are AI, and remember, all technology is based on technology by the Reapers.
Right.
So it affects all of it.
And everyone is technically at Earth, which means their homeworlds, which are
Yes,
suffering.
every
they can't make
alien
it back
species is on Earth right now.
and they can't
The world
make it
can't
back.
support that. Yeah, they'd be
No.
stranded.
Yeah, so their homeworlds are also screwed because
Yes.
they can't go back and rebuild their homeworlds, which are
That's not
suffering.
ideal.
So
would
it's
that
like a
just,
really
like,
big issue.
Would it just like brick every mass relay?
It not only bricks them, it explodes them,
Oh,
which we just proved in Mass Effect 2 wipes out all life in the solar system that it happens in.
Oh,
Well,
it
wasn't
literally.
their explanation
That sounds
was
less than
it
ideal.
explodes in a special way so it doesn't do that?
They put out on Twitter it explodes in a special way after the fact because they
Yeah,
realized
okay.
they contradicted their own lore and their own ending.
Oof.
See, this is why it was
Yeah,
so
okay,
bad.
sure.
Now,
The other one is you control them, and Shepard becomes head Reaper and becomes a dictator of the galaxy.
That
yeah,
sounds like the renegade.
you rule the
option.
galaxy with the Reapers.
You're pretty much evil Superman.
And
Sure.
then the synthesis ending is
They explode in an orgasmic way that makes everyone part robot, part...
yes, everybody becomes a cyborg because our cells become part silicon in some weird fucking
Sure.
way that doesn't make any sense.
All life does. So
Yes,
eventually
every
you
life
see
in the
plants
galaxy.
look that way too. So the plants are all like shiny metallic with like,
Sure.
instead of like leaf veins, they're AI veins.
Yes,
So-
it's
Huh.
weird.
Okay, sure.
Now,
Everything is either
Whatever.
at the Stone Age, Shepard's an asshole dictator with the Reapers, or everyone's a cyborg.
or you molest every life form, digital and organic, in the life form to become your image of what you want it to be. Which is like kind of fucked up in its own
Yeah.
right, because you're like God.
So none of these sound that good.
Now, it gets better. In every
Which one of these
ending
is supposed
that
to be the
isn't-
best ending?
In every ending that isn't
the
destroyed,
red one, because
we
that's the
consider
one
destroyed
with,
to be the best ending.
because that's
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 the only
the
one where you
one-
live.
Ah,
You die in the other 2 endings.
you die in all of them actually.
It's hinted at that you might not be dead in the destroy ending.
you are maybe not dead in
You
one
are
of them.
maybe not dead.
Yeah, but it's the end of the
because
game
the
anyway,
destroy
baby.
one, because this is they reverse the Paragon and Renegade
Well,
option.
hold on. I'll get to that. So the Paragon, whenever you make a Paragon choice, it's highlighted in blue. Whenever you make a Renegade choice, it's highlighted in red. The final choice of the game, they invert the colors.
Huh.
That's
Why?
weird.
Because
they,
indoctrination.
that's the fan theory, but they didn't have any specific reason other than, they did.
Did somebody mess it up, or did they like actively?
It may have
Yeah.
been intentional.
They messed it up because I'm pretty sure they were going for indoctrination, and then the new writers
They
were
pulled
like,
the punch. They have a new
Yes.
writer for Mass Effect 3 compared to Mass Effect 2, and it really shows.
Yeah.
Yes.
They also had a new artist for the music, and while Hans Zimmer is good at his job, and he did make some good songs, I think tonally it differs from the rest of Mass Effect in the way I don't prefer.
Okay, so wait, which
Hans
one
Zimmer,
was,
the
which
guy
one
who
was
made
supposed
the
to be the
Pirates
good?
of the Caribbean
Yes,
and
that guy.
The red one, the one where you destroy everything and everyone is isolated.
Yes. So
Okay.
in later days, they patched in a new ending.
Okay.
You can pull out
Oh.
your gun and shoot the kid in the face.
Mm.
If you do that, he basically takes his ball and goes home, and the Reapers win and wipe out life in the galaxy.
oh,
Oh, is that better?
But that's not exactly a new ending because that will happen if you don't get enough points.
Yes, if you don't get enough points, that also
Wait,
happens.
so just to be clear about that, right? The other three endings are presented as a in-game dialogue choice that you select. Shooting the kid
No,
in the
you
face.
have to walk down a path.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then fall down a hole that turns a different color depending on which hole you fall down, and then you supposedly die.
But
Yeah.
so shooting the kid in the face, does the game prompt you for that at all, or do
No,
you just have
you
to?
pull out your gun and shoot him in the face.
I actually love shit like that. I think shit like that rocks in video games, where like it says here are your options, but you can use the game mechanics in a way to create a new option. I
Well,
think that's
that wasn't
cool.
in at launch. That
I
patched
know.
in after
Yeah.
people bitched.
Yeah, that's whatever.
Which still doesn't really matter because it still was crap. So
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm just saying conceptually.
literally
I do...
the end of the game invalidated every choice you made through 1, 2, and the whole of 3.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
is why
I-
people were
No
upset.
matter what you did, it's all gonna suck.
In the end, it
one,
didn't
two,
matter.
3 ways.
And
Yes.
the cutscene plays the same, but with a different color.
Yes.
That's
Right,
the
that
other
was
insult to
that was
injury.
the big meme
Yes.
Yeah.
that
It's the
everyone
same
knew about
cutscene,
even that
yeah.
didn't play the game.
So it's not like the thing
Now
that
they've
bothers
patched
me.
new cutscene in.
They had to because they didn't
Because people
explain
complained.
well, the new cutscenes were like, how the hell did they escape? What the hell happened here? All of a sudden, you just
Yeah,
see
they
people
added
sniffing-
slight epilogues to things, and it made it better, but it didn't really fix it. The other thing is, there's 2 DLCs for Mass Effect 3 that help a little bit. One of them goes over the alien race. There's an alien survivor of the race that created the Reapers, and you learn more about why they created the Reapers and how they basically went rogue.
Okay.
And then the other one is just you on the Citadel partying with your friends one last time, which is
I did hear
touching
about
in a certain respect. Here's the cool thing, actually. That DLC is very good. I played it years after because I was so upset that I had to wait years before I could go back to it. But
That's fair.
I haven't been able to go back at all.
that DLC, basically Cerberus kept DNA samples around for you and did a Lazarus Project Part 2 and
Huh?
brought another Shepherd out to fight on the Reaper's side, and you have to fight your evil doppelganger.
I love it.
And
Okay.
you're
Classic.
hanging out with
I'd
your
love to
party
see
on the
it.
Citadel trying to fight your evil doppelganger. And here's a cool thing. The mechanics from Mass Effect between 1 and 2 changed drastically. 1 plays much more like an RPG. 2 and 3 play more like third-person shooters, kind of like
Right.
Gears of War. The DLC
So much better in
for
2
the
and 3.
the combat gets better each game, but it's funny because guns fundamentally changed. In Mass Effect 1, guns don't have ammo, they have heat,
Okay.
and if you have to let them cool down, and basically you wait so you don't fire shots and they cool down. In Mass Effect 2 and 3, they have these things called thermal clips that absorb heat, but basically they work like guns where you put clips in them and shoot.
That's
reload.
cool. Okay.
So they do a homage to this because in the DLC you can find an old Gen 1 gun that doesn't take thermal clips, and you shoot it and it cools down, and it was fucking hilarious to me that they put that back in the game.
Yeah, that
'Cause
rocks.
you're playing with all these modern shooter mechanics with a gun that just has heat problems, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's all of Mass Effect. They really screwed the pooch in the final hour, and the fact that they made none of your choices matter. And then, remember, in the original ending, before they started retconning things with Twitter posts and stuff, effectively you killed everyone.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, well, what ending? In every ending, I kill everyone because the ending happens with your crew stuck on like another planet, which doesn't make sense because
So
they
which
weren't
ending
in the
is the
Normandy.
canon ending if everyone dies in all the endings?
Yeah, like your crew magically ends up in their ship, even though their ship couldn't get near Earth because it was fighting in space and you don't know how they got there, and there's like pieces of the story missing where you're like, how did that even happen? And it didn't make sense. But just kind of makes everybody look like they died.
So, like, honestly, it doesn't even really bother me that much that there are no good endings. Because it seems like a lot of Mass Effect is complexity and, you know, things not always being what they seem. So, the fact that there isn't a, like, single, like, oh, everything is good and happy and you actually save all your friends, like, that almost feels antithetical to the series. But more that just, it feels very contrived to me, that ending. And
it also feels
It
like...
wouldn't have mattered if nobody made it if it was done well, and it wasn't done well.
Well, there's also a point to being like, they kind of built up the games on the reputation that at the ending your choices would really matter, and they didn't. So when we're not talking about marketing for one game here, we're talking about marketing for the entire series going back from 2007 to 2012, telling you that your choices are going to matter, and then they didn't.
They really Molyneuxed it up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really about, like, over-promising how...
Under-delivering.
How much your choices would affect the outcome. Whereas your choices ended up not actually affecting
It would have been
the
like
outcome.
having Dr. Seuss write the ending for Lord of the Rings.
There's also issues because EA purchased BioWare after the first one, and you can see the signs of decay in BioWare, the company, as people left, and it affected the game. Like, you can tell certain people worked on certain sections and not others. Like, it's kind of visible in the end product.
Isn't BioWare dead now?
Basically, but...
Right, EA forced them to make... EA forced
Anthem.
them to make Anthem, and Anthem sucked shit because, of cource it did. It's a live service
Anthem's
game.
canceled. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's another live service game that EA, like, had them soullessly produce.
Yep.
That's a tragedy, dude.
Please
and all of
produce
the original
this
people
cash
left.
that no one will like.
Yeah, exactly. Oops, you
Thanks.
did exactly what we told you to, and it was a bad idea.
Also,
They
book
made
is
another
over
Mass
here-
Effect
it's over here
after
in the book
3
bag. I
called
don't know what you're looking for.
Andromeda.
What?
Yeah,
They've been over here in this chest.
I heard about
Where?
Andromeda.
Andromeda has issues.
Did you just put them there and you're
Initially-
trying to gaslight me?
See, Andromeda... See, the thing is that's funny about Mass Effect is technically the gameplay got better each game.
Yeah.
And it's also really good in Andromeda. Like, the gameplay is
Andromeda
actually very
sucks.
solid.
How's the facial animation?
Not good. Not good at all.
Oh no.
Look, I'm
But
sure they tried
see-
their best.
You're not really
No.
playing Mass Effect for the combat.
Right.
You're playing Mass Effect for the characters and stuff, and that's
The combat
a
being
weakness.
good is just
So you
nice,
really just
though.
want to play the Mass Effect visual novel?
In a certain sense, kind of. I appreciate the combat. It adds to the game. I like that it's there. But I'm more there for the characters. Like,
I get
I
that.
wouldn't play through... I wouldn't love Persona if it didn't have the day-to-day stuff in it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great example. Persona would not be a complete game without either
Did you
portion
watch
of
the
it.
girlfriend reviews?
Oh, absolutely. What?
Of
Oh.
what?
Wait,
Persona.
I don't know if I did.
Which one?
I didn't.
Girlfriend Reviews did a review of Persona, and it's
Which one?
Yep, I saw it.
5 with
Oh,
Joker.
okay.
Dude, I love Persona 5.
What?
But
It's
she's like, this
a
is
hot-
like a game I didn't want to review because I'm a backseat gamer, and watching it during the day-to-day stuff was awful, but then all the other stuff was great.
That's exactly how Chandler felt about Persona. Like, she liked seeing all the cool shit and, like, the palaces and the big story beats, and she was, like, invested in the overall story. But she's like, I do not understand
Oh
how
my
you
god,
enjoy...
why are we doing our damn laundry? Let's play the game.
When you play it, though, it's so satisfying.
Yes, it is!
Oh, I love that shit.
Yeah, I love it! Yeah, catch me sitting in LeBlanc doing a
Have you done your real
crossword.
laundry, or are you still doing your virtual laundry?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, you just have to pay your teacher to do your laundry.
I'm
for
gonna-
you.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as Morgana doesn't
Josh,
tell
what
me
is
to go
this
to bed.
place?
This is VG Man's cabin.
What? What?
Oh.
What, John?
As long as Morgana isn't telling me to go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But see, it's funny in a way because Mass Effect sort of had that similar merging of like character interaction RPG moments with like a third-person shooter. It's that same sort of formula, but in a Western sense. So if you liked
Yeah.
After
Persona,
every mission, you could
it's
talk
gonna
and
be
hang
on
out
that
with
level.
your crewmates.
yes, after every mission you could talk to your crewmates. They can give you thoughts and opinions on like what happened, what choices you made. They could tell you if they approved or disapproved of certain things that you did.
Hey John, have you played Saints Row 3?
I have not played 3. I've only played 4.
3 is very good.
Or is it 4 that I'm thinking of?
You're thinking
4
of
is the one
4.
where you get to be the superhuman president.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
Four
I
is
4.
like
the one-
the part where
Well,
you're
4
on the
is the one
missile.
where they parody Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, bang, okay.
They parody Mass Effect by taking out all of the romance shit and just letting you straight up be like, hello, my friend and crewmate, let me just have sex with you immediately.
Yeah. It's just a button
And
that
then
you
they
push.
either do or do not do that.
Exactly.
Saints Row
It's
rocks.
a fantastic game. Dude, that part in the beginning
just
where
take
you're
out
on
all
the
of the
side of
depth.
the fucking missile and it's playing Aerosmith,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that game's fucking amazing. Like,
Yeah.
truly a masterpiece.
That was THQ trying to get themselves out of bankruptcy, the game, and it didn't
Also,
work.
Saints Row has the most inclusive character creator I've ever seen in a video game. It just fucking every
You can
single
change your
customization.
character at any point.
You could change your character at any point. Every single customization option is available to every single character, regardless of body type. And every character refers to you by gender-neutral pronouns, or like just avoids using pronouns altogether. You're just boss, right?
Yeah, they just
Like-
call you boss all the
Yeah.
time.
So literally, no matter
Just
how you
boss.
identify, the game lets you is chill with it. It doesn't fucking care.
No matter
Like,
who you are, you're the boss.
yeah, you get to be a
You're
badass
the
fucking
fucking
super
president.
powered president. It doesn't matter. You could be anybody. It's the best. Saints Row is like low key one of my favorite games.
And you get
I
to
haven't played it.
that boss fight at the end too is sick. Where you
Yeah,
basically
it
end up
kicks
in the
ass.
power armor.
That gives
Did
you
you
all
play
of your
the DLC? Did you play Johnny Gat?
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
good shit right
Yeah,
there.
get out
That
of
was
hell.
fun as hell. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a fucking chain gun lounge chair that is
Yeah.
the demon of sloth
Oh,
that you
no,
used to
I
play.
Not
Save
quite
my
as good if you
fish.
haven't actually played any of the other games.
Also,
but
did
it
you
still
save my
holds up.
fish?
What?
I forgot I put fish to cook. They
No.
must have
no.
burned.
And fish are so hard to get. Hey, I found a massive copper deposit.
No, I definitely did not save your fish.
Danny, you still on the mountain?
I was trying to make
I'm
meat.
still here. Yeah.
So, Rob, just as a heads up, Andromeda was like
I'm getting
kind of
puzzles.
weak, but like could have been salvaged. But the fact that they canceled all the DLC kind of makes it sort of unsalvageable.
I see.
What-
Okay.
Oh.
What is the premise of Andromeda in relation to
The premise of
general
Andromeda
grim endings
is-
of 3?
is that before Mass Effect 3 happens, this dude who's like a benefactor decides to send an expedition to the Andromeda Galaxy. And they leave the Milky Way Galaxy and go to Andromeda before the Reapers show up. And they hear in radio transmissions that some shit went down in the Milky Way Galaxy and they're glad they're not there anymore, but it doesn't involve them. So they're basically like a colonization effort for the Andromeda Galaxy. And unfortunately, they bump into like a subspace anomaly that alerts like basically a galactic empire of their arrival. And then that's when shit hits the fan. And basically you need to set up like